I think a planet full of only women. I feel like the planet would be run differently and most likely better. And all I want to do is just point out to everybody listening right now that just remember when Jed is making all the vacuum cleaner and sandwich jokes and acting like it's me all the time, that this part of the show happens.
I learned it by watching you. I learned it by watching you, Mike. Welcome. You have now tuned in to the Blackout and Shout podcast with your host, Mike Kincaid.
Can I tell you that Baby Yoda just annoys the shit out of me?
That's because you haven't watched The Mandalorian.
Oh, look at Baby Yoda, so cute.
Levy Curry.
Some people do all sorts of crazy stuff, like dinosaur romance novels. Those are really a thing. Taken by the T-Rex. A billionaire dinosaur forced me, ravaged by the raptors.
I wonder if there's audiobooks of them. And Jed Vargo. He was always like well known for wearing the Nazi outfit on.
Captain Kangaroo?
Captain Kangaroo. Didn't he have the... No. And he did not dress up as a Nazi either. So sit back. Mike, are you... Listen to me. Relax. Say, transform and roll out. And enjoy the show. Welcome, everybody, to episode 125 of the Blackout and Shout show. This evening, I have two very special guests. To my digital upside down, Mr. Josh Lawrence from SLV Vlog. That's it, right? I always fuck that up, Josh.
You'll never get it right.
Woo! YouTube channel.
Welcome, Josh. And by the way, you're on a short leash. Just wanted to let you know.
I was going to say, should we start the counter now?
He might be out of here. Might be out of here by the news.
Man. Every time Mike says, Josh, you're like halfway on, like just a little bing sound effect.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I think ever, or no, the second time, but that was a long time ago. I think you were in person last time, Lewis, when you were here, right?
Actually, no, that was the Too Much Scribble episode.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Louis has ever been on the show live, which we should at some point because he lives like minutes from here.
Yeah, true.
We were going to have him and his brother and John over that one time.
Yeah.
I never came to it.
That never materialized.
Lewis, how you doing, man?
Hey, thank you for having me. This is actually, the first real true time here with Mike too, so that's actually pretty good, Jed, man. How you doing?
Good. Anyone ever call you Lucci?
No. The closest actually, I've been called Sweet Lou. I've been called Louie.
Sweet Lou.
Yeah, Sweet Lou.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm not calling you Sweet Lou. That's one. Yeah.
I was going to change his name in the chat.
Sweet Lou was actually a former
in the chat.
manager.
That's good.
Was that
a former manager of mine used to call me Sweet Lou.
Oh.
Yeah. It was every time I heard Sweet Lou coming from the warehouse, I'd be like, oh.
Wasn't one of the Yankees Sweet Lou, or am I thinking of something else?
No, you're thinking Lou Pinella. You're thinking the manager.
Yeah.
Sweet Lou Pinella. That's the one that got the Luisito, Luis. As long as you don't call me an asshole, well, you can even do that. It doesn't really matter.
Well, thanks for joining us this evening, Lewis, and thank you, Josh, for returning once again. See how long you last.
Should we? When we starting the counter now? Now? How about now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to my digital diagonal, none other than our other special guest star, Mike Kincaid.
Yay!
Mike Kincaid, everybody!
Two episodes in a row.
Yeah, 2 shows in a row.
If I go with 3 episodes in a row, I'll officially be reinstated.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's what's it called. 2 in a row. It's called a streak, right?
Yeah, we win streak today. If we win one tomorrow, that is called a winning streak.
It has happened before.
So let's jump right into the fire. Let's start with Josh. Josh, what did you get? Anything in the past 2 weeks? Do you have any shout outs or self promotion you want to throw down?
shameless plug, you can check me out on YouTube, SLB Vlog. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Hauls, I got a box from Chosen Prime. I'm going to be doing an unboxing video soon, so be sure to check that out. I did get the 4K steel box Transformers the movie anniversary, along with the poster, which is nice, even though I don't have a 4K player. I do have a 4K TV.
You guys sound familiar. I think I know someone that's very similar to you.
Everybody else who bought that. Have you guys heard of this cool website called Hidden Toys?
I have not.
Oh my god, there's this cool website called Hidden Toys, hiddentoys.net.
Really?
And they sent me a bunch of prints.
Wow.
Tell me more.
Of artwork from local talent. Well, not really local talent, but talent across the world.
Interesting.
I got this really cool print of Sideswipe and Sunstreaker and this nice metallic glossy like paper. Oh my god, dude, that thing looks so beautiful.
And may I ask who the artist of that was?
Oh, that was none other than the Jed Vargo.
Hey, that's me.
Whoa. Whoa.
You are the. It's like the Donald, the Jed.
The Jed.
I also got the Mona Lisa with the Dick Bird by none other than a friend of the show, friend of everybody, brother Kyle.
Nice,
Cybertron Falls movie poster, Mirage, another Jed Vargo original, a couple Mirages actually.
Yeah, I threw a crap in there for you.
Yeah, you did. Like, I literally just bought the Mona Lisa, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. I just bought one. Just, I really like the picture, and I'm helping out Brother Kyle, and then I get the package in the mail, and I open it up. I'm like, wait, there's more than one in here. What the fuck?
Yeah, I figured throw a bunch in there, so.
No, seriously, dude, that metal glossy one, oh my god, dude. I don't want to put that in a frame because it will lose the sheen to it, I think.
Yeah, maybe. You could give it a shot and see what happens.
Maybe custom frame it.
I don't know. I've got it right now in a top loader, and yeah, even in the top loader, it looks really good in the top loader, but still, it loses a little bit of that, shine to it.
I am.
Interesting. We'll cut that part out.
Yeah, no, not a problem. What else did I get?
Looks great in all frames and top loaders.
yeah. See if you could like not totally edit it out, but just like cut his sentence up, to make it work.
Just make it sound like it's positive instead of negative.
Looks great. It's like, oh, that dude did voiceovers in the War for Cybertron series.
What else did I get? Oh, I got 2 Marvel Epic Collections. I got Doctor Strange Volume 1 Epic Collection, which is really cool because it's his origin.
Nice.
And Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection Volume 7, which contains the death of Gwen Stacy.
Oh!
So I'm looking forward to finishing that one.
Nice.
That's pretty much it for my haul.
Wow.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the shout out, Josh. I hope you like the prints, but you can see the difference in the paper.
You totally can.
Are you going to do a video and all that stuff on it when you do your
that
unboxing?
will be included. Yes, that will be included in my unboxing video.
Sweet. Lewis, how about you, man?
Oh man, where do I begin? This is gotta be a freaking Levy-sized freaking haul here. First of all, shout out to Jeff and Scott from Fully Postable. They're actually good, good buddies actually out there in the West Coast. They have a wrestling figure podcast out there. Cool dudes, man. Same with Eric and Barry from Doing the Favor. That's another wrestling and sports podcast I actually gotten to know in the last year or so. They're shout out to them, and obviously once again, thank you for having me. But Jesus, where do I start with my haul? Everybody knows, actually, at least everybody in the chat at least knows I'm actually, not just collect action figures and collectibles, but I also collect sports jerseys. It was something I've been since I was a teenager, man. It's way before the whole throwback craze. Latest pickups have been I got finally completed my Saquon Barkley authentic Vapor Untouchable set. I have the home, the away, and now the what they call the color rush, which is the old school Giant style white jersey with the blue number and the red outline and the striping and all that. Wore that to FanFest the other day, and actually people were complaining about the limited version, the price tag at the store, and I'm like sheepishly going, "Geez, you guys don't want to know how much it is." And same with like the USA. I picked, I've been on a USA basketball kick as well. Other than the Funko Pops that were actually released through Target, I picked up obviously Jordan and Pippen. Jordan the GOAT, and also got the one. Remember, you guys remember the '92 Olympics, the original Dream Team? They used to wear these
Oh,
like
yeah.
warm up.
Yeah.
Dude, the greatest basketball team of all goddamn time, dude.
Damn straight.
Bar none.
Yeah. So I actually got. You remember those shirts I used to wear at warm-ups, like when the shoot around, they were just all white. They had the USA basketball logo really big, and all they had in the back was like their last names, like arched on the back of their. Yeah, I have a Jordan one to go with my navy blue Jordan jersey to go with it. That's like something I've been wanting since the '92 Olympics, and also 2 pairs of the sevens, the Olympics, to match my Olympic sevens. I actually have the Olympic sevens, and they call it Tinker Hatfield alternate sevens, which is basically like the original designer going back and going, well, if I made the shoe today, this is how it would look like. So they're both pretty sweet looking. And then I got the '96 Pippen Dream Team 2 jersey to go with my up tempos that were also like navy blue. It had the gold number 8 on the back. And believe it or not, my first non-Giant jersey of a former Giant. I actually have an Odell Beckham Jr. Browns jersey. It was the 1946 jersey that they're wearing this year, which is like, it's the white one with the brown and the drop shadow on it, which is, I'm a sucker for drop shadow numbers. I mean, I'm a Rangers fan, so they have drop shadows. So it's something, every time I see a jersey with drop shadows, it's like, ooh, this is sweet. No, but it's the first time I buy something from a player that was on one of my teams since the Wizards Jordan jersey back in the day. So, but as far as figures are concerned, man, I finally got the 2, the Ultimate Food Soldiers from NECA. I finally picked up 2 of those. Ultimate Pinhead from Hellraiser. I went down the rabbit hole for Master of the Universe, Masterverse. I got He-Man, Skeletor, Battle-Cat, and Skelegod. So, and I have Mossman coming on the way. So that's that's another jump into a pool right there. Let me see. Oh, wrestling figures. I got Ultimate Edition Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and John Cena. And also, I got a couple of the AEW figures, Josh. I picked up, I finished the Inner Circle, which is, I had Santana Ortiz and Jericho. Now I have, whatchamacallit, John Newberry? That's the former,
Jack Swagger.
The former Jack Swagger. Yeah, John Hager.
Yeah.
John Hager and Sammy Guevara.
Nice.
I got those 2. I got the Lucha Brothers as well. And then who else do I have here? Oh, Jerry the King Lawler. Yeah, I have a stack of like 8 wrestling figures up in the attic right now that they're waiting to be opened. And I think there's 4 more coming. Because I picked up all the Legends, Series 11 wave from Target. So, which includes a Macho Man with a cream of the crop. It comes with a little coffee creamer in his one hand, from the cream of the crop promo.
That's awesome.
I know. I have like 6 Macho Mans, and I'm about to have a 7th one with the, spoiler alert, the crowdfunded the Mattel Creations ring. So
Yeah.
I need another Macho Man, but it came with a creamer. Came with a coffee creamer. So that, I don't think what else. I think that might actually be it. So yeah, it's been a long 2 weeks, man, and I still got shit coming. Actually, my April O'Neil just shipped from NECA, so I'm excited. Still on the hunt for the Casey Jones, but I'm coming up empty on that one.
But
that's it.
Didn't you get the? I thought you had the Bogey Casey Jones 2-pack.
Yes, but there's an Ultimate Casey Jones out there now that it will have the unmasked head, the Elias Cotillas head.
Right. Yeah.
And it comes with like an alternate face with, it'll come with a head with the mask on, a head with the mask off, and an extra mask will make it look like he's holding it, or even putting it like behind, like between the hockey sticks or whatever, like in the one scene. There is actually a 2-pack that popped up on Walmart around Comic-Con that even NECA hasn't even announced yet. That he said it was an April and Casey 2-pack. that it was the farm version. There's had been no pictures, no nothing. It just popped up over that weekend. I basically pre-ordered it with the hopes, what's the worst that could happen? They return me the money.
Mhm.
So I'm still waiting on an announcement. But yeah, I don't need another Casey, but I just thought because of the mask that, you'd
That's
be more
really
accurate.
surprising because usually they like NECA throws stuff up on their site for like pre-order stuff like that where you can, at least they did with the Ultimate April and those other ones.
I think it came up, but he sold out quick.
Yeah.
So I missed out on it, unfortunately. I think I was actually working when it happened. Same thing with Mondo Gecko and Mothman for the cartoon line. I missed out on those as well. So, out hunting I go now for them. So, but it's, it's no big deal. You know what I mean? I know eventually I will get them. I won't actually back, I'm not going to get it, a secondary market price. I'm not going to pay more than it's worth. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work for me. I mean, shit, I was part of a video blog called Feed the Scalpers. I'm not going to feed them.
You can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite.
Luce's new video channel. Be a scalper.
Yeah.
How to. In 12 easy steps.
Feed the scalpers.
How about you, Michael Kincaid?
I'll do my haul first, I guess. So I got the Viper. Did I get the Viper before last episode? If I didn't, I got the Viper, the G.I. Joe Viper, so that's cool.
Did he come to wipe your window?
He came to wipe. Yeah, he cost $575. And by the way, if they ever did that would be a huge hit. If they ever did a classified the Viper. Seriously, I think a lot of Joe fans would pick that up.
They need the Cobra Commander with the trench coat and a hat. Old Snake.
Oh, absolutely. I think that would happen before the Viper. I'm almost positive we'll get one of those at some point, but I would love to see both of them. What the hell was that?
I don't know.
That's my oldest yelling at her mom. Typical teenage stuff.
It sounded like they were doing a price check.
Blue light special.
Story. Yeah, blue light special.
Oh, don't kick in your PTSD, Jed.
I got the hell else did I got? I think that's all the new stuff that I got. I opened up all that shit that I got for my birthday. So and I, you know what, as awesome as that was, opening up all that shit at one time, it was like Christmas. I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore. I think I'm gonna get it in smaller chunks because I got it all and I had so much shit that I basically just opened it all and organized it and stuck it up on the shelf. And I only messed with really one of them. So, yeah, maybe I'll get them in smaller chunks and stuff so I could actually mess around with them more next time.
Did you post something up in the chat tonight, Mike? Was that something did you mention that in the hall? Was that before when in the last
No, that was going to be the last thing I brought up. I think that's all that other stuff. Newer stuff, I think I'm pretty much caught up with. But yeah, so I finished up. Sorry, I had to get some coffee. I finished up my Japanese G1 collection today, which is crazy. But finally got this double clouder. And again, I shouted him out last episode. It was worth mentioning again. Bill hooked me up with this dude Alan, and he had the double clouder, and I actually think he was gonna put it up for not an auction, what do you call it, a raffle in one of the groups, you buy so many slots or whatever, and he was going to do it that way. But I guess Bill kind of actually hit him up on the side and was like, yo man, this dude is the last one he needs, and actually talked him into just selling it to me outright, which was awesome. And it's not the first time that Bill actually led me towards one of these pieces. So I told him at some point that he lives in the area too. So I told him at some point we're gonna have to get together and have a celebratory beer or some shit one of these nights, man. So yeah, that was the end of it until Jason Brent fucked everything up. That would have been the total end of the G1 era for me. But yes, I still got some Micromasters and Action Masters to catch up on, but that was the final grail in quotes, I guess, that I would say, you know, the Action Masters. I still got to get like the Action Master Megatron, and there's maybe one or two other ones that might be a little bit more expensive, but like this was the last, like, you know, arm and a leg kind of grill. So that was cool.
Man.
Yeah,
That's
I'm pretty psyched.
That's sweet, man.
What'd you
go
think
ahead,
of
Jed.
Firmament from Kang Toys?
Okay, so Firmament, I didn't like transform him or anything, but I definitely like at least mess around. You can't not mess around with the wings. You know, he's got like presence is amazing. The heft on those things is amazing. Him and Rampage, and everything's awesome. There's only one thing that I can even say about the dive bomb is that he's got so much wings on him, and they're so heavy. You got to kind of really have everything oriented right to get him to stand properly. And it's tough to get him to stand in a natural pose because you almost have to like lean him forward on his ankles a little bit to kind of offset the weight of the wing. So he's always kind of doing like a very slight, what's the Michael Jackson, the Smooth Criminal a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least mine anyways. And don't get me wrong, he still looks awesome, but that's probably the only nitpick. The one thing, man, some of the engineering of these things really trips me out, but the way that they gave you the option of having the bird head helmet up, like pointed up, or have it down over his head like a helmet, and the way that even when you had the helmet, which was attached to another piece behind the head, put over top of the head, you could still rotate the head and the helmet together. Did you mess with that at all? I thought that was really like nifty engineering, you know, to because a lot of times when you got the head will be articulated, but then when you put the helmet on it, it's just kind of like the MP Star Saber, you know, the smaller one and shit like that. Once the Brain Master goes up, like he just can't turn his head.
Right.
But I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, I'm digging those guys, man. I can't wait to get my hands on the rest of them.
So on your dive bomb, Mike, I just found this out recently.
Mm-hmm.
The bird mode legs are on sliders and they can slide outward. Did you know that?
Slide outward, like left and right, if you're standing in his shoes, or forward?
And you're standing in his shoes, left and right.
So the right foot slides out to the right and the left foot slides out to the left?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go back, and I don't know that would necessarily take care of the balance issue. Like,
it does.
You mean even forward and back? So if you slide the feet out one way or the other, it helps balance them forward and backward as well?
Because that way you can spread the toes out more, and that lets you balance them a little better. I literally just came across this the other day.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
You're welcome.
Do you have any shout outs or plugs you would like to announce?
I got a couple shout outs, man. First of all, shout out to Levy, who couldn't make it tonight, but it was yesterday. Yeah, I don't know how it took us this long to realize this, but me and Vanessa and Levy and April we all share the same anniversary date, which was yesterday. So shout out to Vanessa. I've been with Vanessa for 5 years now, which is cool. And it's been probably the best 5 years of relationship I ever had in my life. And shout out to Levy and April. I think Levy said 16 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So good for them too. Love them too.
Yeah, man.
I just want to send, as a Blackout and Shout family, I just want to send our condolences out to Doors, you know, and his family. Doors lost his pops this week or whatever. So, you know, we send our love and hugs across the pond, to our friend Doors. And also shout out to Vanessa. Vanessa's doing some shit at the pole dancing studio this evening. She has some kind of like exhibition or some kind of show or whatever. Her and like a bunch of the other girls that go to that school. So she's got that going on. So I'm sure she'll kick ass. But I just wanted to, by the time this comes out, she'll have either kicked ass or fell on her head. So hopefully it's the former. And I think that is all and shout out to Gort, by the way. Gort was the reason I was able to score that Viper, because he popped in the chat really early one morning and said that the Viper and and Baroness were on pre-order again at Target, and I hopped on there immediately, and I scored the Viper. So yeah, shout out to Gort for that heads up. And I don't have anything to plug. Me and Tony are working on a couple of new songs. One in particular, which I think is going to kick a lot of ass. So hopefully in the next little bit, I have some McCullen project to throw at everybody.
Cool.
And yeah, that is it for me. Oh, I want to touch on one thing real quick that Louis brought up the Bulls. The Bulls had possibly, outside of Eye of the Tiger, had possibly the best fucking walk-up music of any sports. Anybody, that Alan Parsons Project song that they came out to.
Else to the yeah.
Yeah, that shit fucking fires me up every time.
Same here.
Eye of the Tiger still does it just a little bit better because it's fucking Eye of the Tiger, but that Alan Parsons Project song is fucking awesome.
I also like that one song from the first Rocky soundtrack. It's basically the ones the Eagles play at their stadium in the fourth.
Wait. Say that again, Louis. The what?
I haven't heard no bell. I haven't heard a bell. You know, you give I haven't heard a bell. Everybody ring a bell.
Oh, is it Burning Heart?
I believe. I don't know.
It sounded It sounded just like Eye of the Tiger, except different.
No. It's from the original score of the first movie.
Oh, the score. Okay.
Yeah, I think
I would know it when I heard it.
P. Diddy stole it for the song.
Hey, Louis, I don't know what's going on with you. You're breaking up a little bit, man. You're like fading in and out.
How about now? Is it better?
Yeah.
All right.
Sounded all right.
Yeah, just right. I was a little further away from the speaker. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think P. Diddy used it as a sampled it back in the late '90s. So that's how I remember. It's called Victory on the I forgot what album is that, but I don't know what the original version is in the original score for Rocky. But yeah, that fires me up, man. That and Gonna Fly Now. Also,
Yeah.
That's something I want to do that's in my bucket list, man. Go to the museum in Philly and run up the steps. Maybe, in your
Saquon fucking jersey, and people will be throwing eggs at you and shit.
Nah. I wouldn't. Come on, man. I'm an asshole, but I'm not that much of an asshole. So, Saquon Barkley being drafted by the Giants made a lot of Eagle fans very conflicted, didn't they?
Yeah.
Fans too,
No, I mean, I'm not even really much of a college fan one way or the other, but like the fact that he's a local kid, you know what I mean?
Right.
And from everything that you see, like he seems like a cool kid, Yeah. So it's one of those situations where it's like, I hope he kicks ass, but like I want the Eagles. not against the Eagles, but like 15 out of 17 games a year, fine. But on those other two games, nah. Yeah. Sorry.
I've seen him play, dude, since like this. I think the first time I saw him play was in sophomore year at Whitehall, actually. Because I think my brother's like, he was in junior high when Saquon was coming up in the high school, and we went to a couple of the Whitehall games, and I remember seeing him play, man. And then he signed with Penn State. Basically, I seen the kid grow. Yeah. And I was ecstatic when he was drafted. Like, I celebrated, like we won something when he was drafted. And actually, Rita actually worked with his sister at one job, one of the United Healthcare job way back, like about 6 years ago. And I friended her through Facebook, and believe it or not, his mom actually friended me. So every time I make a post with Saquon related, whether it's the jerseys I just posted the other day or the Penn State jersey I just picked up like 2 weeks ago, which is missed part of my haul there. The first person that loves it is his mom. I'm like, that's fucking cool. And also, I don't know if you've seen him. There's a picture out there of him before training camp started where he had, remember that Bo Jackson shirt that Nike released back in the early 90s when he first, when he was first coming back from the hip injury?
Yeah.
It's like Bo knows comebacks or whatever.
Right.
It was the same shirt, but it was Saquon's face. He just said Saquon knows comebacks. And I was like, I need that shirt. Because I had the Bo Jackson shirt. So I need that shirt. And I even posted on her wall. I'm like, is this shirt for sale? Like, can you give me an insight? Like, where can I get this? So
no, you should have pressured her to sell you that exact one that she had right there.
I'm like, hey, can you tell your Saquon to send me that shirt?
Like when she tried to give you the link, to go buy it, you should have been like, no, I meant like that one that you're holding.
Yeah. No, he was wearing it. I think it was in a practice shot. Saquon himself was wearing it. And it's funny because before I found the Penn State jersey 2 weeks ago, I actually was almost inclined to private message her and go, "Does he have any leftover Penn State jerseys? Everything I've been finding is being a knockoff. Like it's usually, I don't want to buy Chinese knockoff Penn State jersey.
Yeah.
Like it's retarded." And
do you have any pillowcases or maybe other things that was his that I could purchase?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Dude, that's some single white female bullshit right there.
Yeah, right.
And that's exactly why you ask. That's exactly why you ask.
Are you donating anything? Maybe I could just swing by and.
That's the way to get offended real quick. Wait a minute, why is she on the friends list anymore?
And then you video chat her, and when she picks up the video chat, it's you, and you have like the his face from the cover of Sports Illustrated, kind of like Deadpool was wearing Logan's face.
Hugh Jackman's.
Yeah, and it's just you with Saquon's face over you with the eyes with the eye holes.
Start calling her mom.
No, man. Yeah, that's dude. Come on, man. That's freak show shit. That's terrible. Oh my goodness, no. But Mike, did you ever get to see The Last Dance?
I did.
The documentary?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I still feel the same way Jordan did, man. They never lost that title. They never did. The team, they got broken up. It's so don't even get me started, man. I think they could have had one more in them, honestly, especially with the lockout season. They had a lockout season in '99, so
I think they could have had more than one more in them.
Think so?
Yeah,
I think if anybody would have seeded them, it would have been the Lakers, the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, probably somewhere around 2000, 2001.
Yeah. I mean,
all right. This is not the Blackout and Shout sports show.
Mike's just happy that he found somebody to talk sports with, right?
Give him a call on the phone. Let's pull this back in.
Good job, Jed. Good job.
Yeah. I mean, people, they don't know what you're talking about anyway. Like, is there an action figure of this guy?
There is a Michael Jordan figure.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
That's true. There is.
And there's Andrew Base.
I'm really surprised they don't do like a lot more, like pops and stuff like that of like teams. Like, here's your 2021 Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the whole team in pops. Well,
McFarlane used to do those little sets, like I think it was about 12 years ago. It was like little sets of like the whole offense of a team.
No shit.
I think they were Toys R Us exclusives actually. Huh. You had like the whole offense where they lined up like to play it or whatever. Mm-hmm. That was the closest you ever got. Think of like seen those little sets that you buy at Disney store of like a property like at Star Wars or something. They have like those little minifigs of all the characters.
Yeah.
Think of that scale, but it was basically the whole offense lined up, the whole line lined up, the receivers, tight end, quarterback, and running back, and everything set up almost like lined up, in positions in that scale. I guess they didn't sell well because they only did like maybe one. They only did like one season's worth of it. So
yeah, you're like trying to mix like whole team. You're mixing sports and like action figure collecting together, and that's usually.
You'd be surprised. There's a market. There's actually a collector community with McFarlane's. McFarlane's still making sports figures. So
McFarlane, they made a lot of good, cool fucking figures.
They're still making them. Actually, they're more branded towards like the video games. They actually have the incentive now is like they have codes to unlock stuff in the video games like NBA 2K20, whatever, or Madden or MLB The Show or whatever those things. Because I actually, matter of fact, I have the Aaron Judge Yankees, and I have the Saquon Barkley because I had one open, but I wanted one mint in box to hang on the wall with the rest of the Giants McFarlane. So, cool. There's some market there. It's just there's no fully articulated. Like outside of the Mafex Jordan that is sitting right there, and believe it or not, here we go with Mafex again. They delayed the USA Jordan. They actually had a Dream Team Jordan coming out, and he was supposed to come out this last April, but just like the Bulls red jersey one, it's not coming. He got delayed to September, and I'm waiting close to September when they delay it to October. And that's when the original Jordan came out last year. So, wouldn't be shocked. I think the LeBron actually just came out too.
Jed does got a point though. The cross marketing of sports versus action figure, because like in the action figure community, like out of the, like just our show as an example, 3 out of 4 of us like sports, and Josh doesn't really follow. So you're like, even if you just use that as a percentage, you'd be cutting yourself down to 75% of who collects action figures versus who is into sports. You know what I mean? And it might not even be 75%. It might be less than that because a lot of
I could see somebody like getting like, they have like a shelf, they have like the guy's like picture or like their card, a bat or something like, or a football, and then right next to it is a pop, and there's a pop.
More of a collectible thing than more collectible, sports collectible versus action figure. Actually, the sports card market's blowing up right now. Like, it's insane to the point where Target is actually stopped selling sports cards because just like the NECA, the way the NECA gets filled up at Targets or Walmarts is like a third party that shows up and just basically puts the wall together or whatever. They do the same thing with sports cards. And I guess it was to the point where collectors were actually following the person to get to the store to find out exactly where they were showing up, to buy up all the cards or whatever. And fights broke out, and there was a lot of shit. Yeah, it was a lot of shit going on that forced Target to basically stop selling them all together for the foreseeable future. Down even Pokemon at one point. I think they just brought back Pokemon card sales, but sports cards are still missing at Target.
I didn't know anything was going on, Louis, but I definitely remember like through my times hunting Joe's at Target a couple times, seeing the signs hanging in the toy section that specifically said that they will no longer be selling tops or whatever, cards.
MLB, MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL cards.
And I'm like, what fucking what year am I in right now? And people
matter of fact, a few weeks ago when I took somebody to the airport, Rita's best friends and her best friend and her mom, we took her to the airport in the middle of the night it was going to Arizona, and on the way back I decided to stop at Walmart because it was like before 6 a.m. Like, this is when the Father's Day stuff was coming out, like with exclusive Frankenstein from NECA and the animated series Grapple Gun, and I think the 2 figures from the Amazon show, The Boys, which was Starlight and Homelander. Thank you. So I go in there, let me see if I can find the Frankenstein and maybe get the Grapple Gun. I get in there, I park, and I see the line going out. It's a Thursday morning, and I'm going, the hell, there's a line on Thursday? Oh, shit, sports cards. And sure as shit, I was the only, everybody, as soon as the doors open, and the lady's like, there's going to be one back per customer. And I'm like, okay, I don't need one. Everybody when you first come in, where the sports cards are at Walmart, where it's almost towards like the registers. So everybody went immediately to the right to get the sports cards, and I went straight back to the electronics. So that was a sign of like, oh crap, that's right, sports cards. And it's just, I think the fact that we all were locked down a year ago and we're getting this, the stimulus checks or whatever, people like going out dividing bucks. People were trying to spend money on stuff, and that's what drove up the secondary market value on action figures, Funko, shoes, and even sports cards, which is crazy.
Yeah. How many kids you got? Oh, I got this many kids. Well, I can get these many sports cards now.
I think a lot of it has to do with secondary market and people just buying them to get the rare cards and sell them for a profit.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
That's exactly right, Josh. That's exactly right. Especially like, not only that, nowadays, when it comes to sports cards, they short pack them so much now compared to like when we grew up with Mike. Like, people call that now the junk wax era because everything was so reproduced. Just like, like comic books back then as well.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is either, there's a gem in there, like every pack is guaranteed like an autograph or a used jersey piece or something, or a used item like, baseball or bat or whatever in there. So there's always some type of like special collectible per pack that you have to get.
Did you say a used jersey piece?
Yeah. Like
imagine you get like somebody's armpit.
Yeah. Actually, I have a game. I think I have a game.
Actually, yeah, I do. I have Saquon Barkley's armpit jersey.
No, they do. They have like a part. They take jerseys, like game used jerseys and stuff and equipment, and they cut it up and put it with the cards. They've been doing that since I think actually started in the early 2000s. They just didn't become a big deal within the last couple of years.
My used jersey is sticky.
Hey, Jed.
Yeah.
That's all for my hauls and shout outs and plugs. What about you, Jed?
Oh, I get to,
have
do
you
I
done
get to go?
anything?
Yeah,
You get to go. Yeah.
So I got,
we'll let you go uninterrupted to the news.
So I got Aaron Yeager from Figma. It was pretty cool. Like lately, I've been getting these really awesome deals from Ami on the used second market. They have like, you know, ratings for like if it's been opened or if it's all there, or if not, if you know the figure is good, and then there's like the boxing. So they have like by like letters like A, B's. And to Japanese people, like a damaged box is like a scratch. So it's
right.
It's like brand new basically. So I got a brand new Aaron Yeager, and it's awesome because he comes with the, what do they call those things? The you know, the gear, you know, that they shoot the things out into the buildings from Attack on Titan.
I don't know what they're called, but I know what you're talking about.
The something unit or whatever, I forget what they call them. Anyway, but it comes with like the long like strings and stuff that you could actually tie to it and like attach to whatever. So it kind of shows like you know, he's like swinging from whatever. Like two swords and the whole like small like little green cape and stuff. It looks really cool. So I got that. I got the Golden Arc Band of the Hawk Guts Figma, which is really cool. And then I picked up 2 Figma horses as well, and it's they came out really cool. I'm gonna throw a picture in there real quick. I took a test shot for like lighting to see how it would come out before I did any other pictures, but I got Griffith and Guts and like horses and stuff, and they look really cool. And that's the close up of the Guts figure, so you can take the helmet on and off and stuff. They have different faces.
Nice.
I got Player Sky Aerith with that order. I think Reno and Root are going to be coming up at the end of this month. And the big thing is that I picked up a Hot Toys Iron Man Silver Centurion and the Hot Toys War Machine Endgame version. That's like the real slick, like black, like streamlined version. That was in the movie when they were when they knocked out Quill and they were getting the Power Stone and stuff.
Yeah,
that part of the movie. But I got those for like $140 a piece, and they normally for like $340, and they're like brand new. It was awesome.
Huh.
Such a good deal. So I got those. Let's see. Fuck you,
is
John
the Silver
Bailey?
Centurion from? Sorry to interrupt, but is the Silver Centurion from Iron Man 2?
Iron Man 3? 3, it is.
It's the red and silver, right?
Yeah, from Iron Man 3. When he had like all like 30 suits at the end there.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, the one
there was also the one in.
You're thinking of the suitcase suit from the Iron Man 2.
That's what I'm thinking of. Thank you, Lewis.
Yeah, no, not that one at all. No, it's the like the 80s, you know, Silver Centurion.
Yep, I know what you're talking about now. Sorry.
Hold on, let me just see. You know, with the shoulder pads.
You showed a picture of the War Machine, but not the Silver Centurion.
Yeah. Well, I was waiting to hear for the. Let me upload it. Boop. That one right there, Josh.
Oh, that is sweet.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's cool. It's funny because the Endgame one, the War Machine, is like all die cast, so it's like super freaking heavy, and then this one isn't, and it's like you feel like you got cheaped out because it's like real light compared to the other one, but it's awesome. I took all the batteries out of them. I don't know. I can't keep batteries in figures like that, especially Hot Toys stuff. And they're all these like mini watch batteries. There's like 3 in every one, like 3 in the head, 3 in the back, 3 in each arm. And I'm like, ugh, no thanks. That's all I need is a battery to leak all over, you know, a Hot Toys figure that I got. So, like I said, fuck you, John Bailey. Josh already threw out the promo for Hidden Toys, so I don't have to shout myself out this time. But shout out to Mike and Cade. He's on the site, so buy some of his stuff. It'll make him happy.
It'll make both of us happy.
I do. I know I mentioned this last time, but Candace came on the site, so she has 3 of her art pieces up there that I posted. And let's see. I know you said happy anniversary to Levy in April, but happy birthday to Mike and Levy as well. You guys had your birthdays these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, mine was on August 5th, and Levy's is, by the time you're listening to this, it will have been yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, me and Levy are going on some sort of birthday adventure on Monday. I'm not exactly sure what yet. We were talking about maybe going to Red Bank and going to Yestercades and Bob and the Silent Bob Secret. You know what? I said that to him. I was like, Levy, let's just go to fucking Platinum Plus for like 6 hours, and let's sit like during the day. It'd be great because there's nobody there. We'll just sit in the back.
Right. You'll be in the no tip zone.
Yeah.
I've been really getting into a lot of Berserk lately. I'm like halfway through the 4th volume of the deluxe versions. It's right around the story part where they rescue Griffith from the torture cell and stuff. But there's like so much story there that wasn't in the animes. I'm enjoying all this like little bits of stuff that's just, and I can see why it wasn't in the anime, because it's some really fucked up shit. But it's awesome. And Josh and you guys are all Turtle fans, but
Yes.
I started reading Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin.
Oh, shit.
It's so good, isn't it?
It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
so good. And it's Eastman and Law. It's like Eastman and Laird are like together again doing this series, and it shows. Man, it's
Nice.
so good. Mike, if you haven't checked that out, it's really good.
It's like Old Man Logan, but with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, wasn't it? It was Raphael, wasn't it?
Nope.
Like,
Not going to
don't
spoil it
Oh
for you.
no! I'm sorry. I knew. No. I know who it was. I'm sorry. It was.
Was that completed already, or would I be able to buy that like a graphic novel already, or it's still ongoing?
It
It's
just
still
came out.
ongoing because issue 4 hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just gotta catch up the other 3 first.
5.
Cool.
5
Yeah,
issues?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Nice.
but yeah, it's really good.
It's
You run around with a black bandana on, and he has like, each one of the weapons, slung on his back. It's really good.
Nice.
That's it. Now, you guys have anything else? We'll move on to the nerd news.
well, I mean, I guess I could throw this out there. You guys threw it out there, but me and my wife just celebrated 7 years being married on August 2nd.
Ooh, happy
man.
anniversary!
Congratulations.
7
We bought
years.
a mattress.
Josh.
I was gonna say this is the year. If all hell's gonna break loose, this will be the year.
Yeah,
Yep.
7 year itch, man.
Yep. I mean, we've been together for fucking ever, but this is 7 years being married.
So you got a mattress finally? You guys were sleeping on the floor
Yeah.
these past 7 years?
No. The mattress we actually bought before our wedding, and it's a terrible memory foam mattress that just, it didn't remember. It forgot.
Did
So you
shut
basically
your-
bought
one-
a
you had one
memory
job.
foam mattress with Alzheimer's?
Yes.
the dementia
Pretty much.
mattress.
Dementia mattress.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta go tell her that now.
Did you try jumping up and down on it with the wine glass at the other end?
I don't drink wine, so no.
Oh, bottle of beer.
Speaking of which, I didn't get another beer.
If it bounces.
There's got to be a story there. I'm assuming, but maybe you don't want to tell it.
I wasn't paying attention. I was focusing on getting another beer.
Oh,
What's your beer of choice tonight, Josh?
Lightning Kugel Summer Shandy. Tomorrow is free comic book day at your local comic book store.
Sweet.
And I will be working tomorrow at my local comic book store, and I'm so looking forward to it.
yeah.
I hear the sarcasm in your voice, Josh.
Thank you. I'm not.
I'm so
I
into
just-
sarcasm. I can hear it.
It's just one of those days where just like all the people come in and the speculators come in, and it's just
People want their free shit.
Well, I mean, I can understand why the publishers do free comic books.
Yeah.
Get titles out there, get people interested.
Right.
There's one for Johnny Cates and Ryan Otley are going to start their run on Incredible Hulk, which I'm looking forward to.
That's cool.
There's one for the Avengers. There's one for Spider-Man. There's one for Batman. Like, I can understand, but it's the people that come in and want one of every single one. It's like, no, you get 3.
Right.
Sorry. And you're just going to turn around and sell it anyway, so why should I really give it to you? Is it for people that want to read it and kids that, to get them to start reading?
Right.
Yeah. Get them hooked.
Exactly.
But it just says here that it's free comic book day, so I want free comic books.
Actually. Yeah.
They come, they leave.
I
They come
think
back with
we just lost a percentage of the fan base on that right there.
They leave. They come back with like a fake mustache on.
So
Excuse me, I'd like to have your free comic books.
My name is Mr. Snub.
the comic book store I work at, it's a chain that we have 12 stores, and these people literally go to every single store to get every single one. It's like, and we even give some out to the libraries, local libraries, to so they can give out to kids and everything like that, and they will go to the libraries and pick it up. It's like, come on, guys.
Wow. Damn. That's cold-hearted, man.
Yeah.
Scalpers. Fucking scalpers.
Yep. Fucking scalpers.
Yeah.
So, onto the news. Did you hear that Marky Post died? She was 70 years old.
Oh, that's right.
From,
Dude, Marky
Night
Post
Court.
was hot back in the Night Court days.
And the Fall Guy days. Fall Guy days, too.
Yeah.
She died of cancer. Still here.
Okay, no, for a second I was like, it was silence.
We're having a moment of silence for Marky Post.
Okay. Sorry, nobody told me.
She was smoking hot back in the day. Oh my god.
She died of cancer. The other one, another actor from that era of TV shows, Alex Cord, died. He was 88 years old. He was an American actor, best known for Airwolf as Archangel.
Oh, shit. I remember watching that show, man. Yeah.
Mike, do you remember Archangel? He was the good dude with the eye patch and the cane.
On which show was this?
Airwolf.
Oh, man. My memory is very vague of Airwolf.
Yeah.
It really is.
He's the one that would send them on their missions.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like their Nick Fury, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, send him on the missions and stuff.
So that's all the people that
actually I have one more. I have one more to add. For the wrestling fans out there, actually, Bobby Eaton passed away. Yeah, he was part of the Midnight Express. That was like last week, I think it was.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah. He was part of the Midnight Express in the mid to late 80s, and actually I think it was also he teamed up with William Regal or Steven Regal back in the WCW days. I think that was like his last of his like active days in pro wrestling. Yeah, man, it's starting to get really out of hand now. I mean, especially after losing Orndorff like maybe like 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, having them, lose both of them back to back, it's like he just sometimes, as a pro wrestling fan, man, it's you watch like the early WrestleManias, you're like, oh man, he's gone, he's gone. It's really, pretty sad actually. So, but
yeah,
I know a lot
it's kind of tough when it's tough when like you're quote unquote like comic book characters are, like real people and they get old and they die and like Marvel characters don't. So it sucks.
Yeah, man, it's terrible. But hopefully, finally, we may get a Midnight Express Elite set somewhere along the line. Hopefully,
yeah.
Are they in the Hall of Fame?
No, they're not. No, they're not. And that's a shame. They may be in a Hall of Fame somewhere. Not everybody knows WWE Hall of Fame, but they may be in another Hall of Fame somewhere, but not the WWE Hall of Fame. That's the one that everybody knows, basically.
But there's the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, which is just an affiliate of just like all of the.
It may be. I'm not. Don't quote me actually, but because you may get some comments saying, "Oh no, they are." Well, actually, that's supposed to be in this Hall. Like I don't know. Just the one that everybody knows is the WWE. Though, so
who knew Lewis could do voices?
Yeah,
He can do like the dumb turtle voice that he just did.
no, actually, Yeah, it is. It is. Actually, no, I could do the whatchamacallit. What's the dumb buzzard from
Yeah.
Oh,
Do it.
No, I can't do it, Mama. You know, I can't do that.
Awesome.
I laugh every time I hear Mike do P Puma though. I that one. That's another classic right there. So
we have a roadie that for social call, and he's reminds me of P Puma, like exactly. Really? Yeah, totally. I like it. If any of you guys ever come out, I'm gonna introduce you to him, and I'm gonna introduce you to him after I tell you, yeah, this is the P Puma guy, and you're gonna laugh your ass off.
Shit. Nah, man, because every time I see him, I'm gonna start laughing randomly. Like, what is this guy laughing at me for? So you don't want to know. Sorry. So, Bobby Eaton, man. May he rest in peace.
Let's move on to the trailers. So, Carnage, right?
Yeah, let there be Carnage.
So Carnage.
I love that. I love that Cletus Cassidy's hair was retro.
Yes, he had a bad day at that time. Retcon.
Like it was really human. It was really humid that day.
Yeah,
they should do like they should. The opening scene from in the new movie should be him with a flat iron.
Or he's just wearing a wig and he takes it off. That'd be even funnier. Yeah. He's just psycho and he's wearing the psycho wig. Like, please just take that dumbass wig off.
Or maybe he's flat ironing the wig. I mean, it's Carnage for Christ's sake. You know, it's not the craziest thing he's going to be doing.
At least in full symbiotic look, actually looks very accurate. Like, you know, even like the tendrils and all that stuff. That's cool. But I don't know. It's just some things about that trailer, just like you look at it and go, really? This is the choice they're making? I mean, I'm used to seeing, I think they're bringing Shriek in there as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
The lady that's like, yeah, okay. Yep. But I don't know. Like, I wasn't a fan of the first one. You know, to me, it felt the first movie felt very, very dated. Like, it would have been cool if it would have come out pre-MCU, you know? And it just felt like, man, this movie would have kicked ass in 2005. But, you know. But nowadays,
Marvel set the bar too high. Yeah, it set the bar too high, and now
it's just a lot of the tropes that they used in that movie was like very like Raimi, like that era, like the the Raimi Spider-Mans and the X-Men movies. It was a lot of the tropes they used in there. It was just like, yeah, we've seen that before, and that hasn't happened in about 15 years. So
yeah, it's true.
And this one is, you know, it's just more the same. I mean, the whole thing with the symbiote and you know, Eddie Brock, the whole like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you, like that just, I don't know. I don't know where exactly that's going. I know in the comics, I think the symbiote kind of got tired of Eddie Brock or felt that Eddie Brock was weak or whatever, and that's like he left them in the first place. Spoiler alert from comics from 20 years ago. But I know there's like, you know, I don't know the exact like, you know, like the way that it went in the comics, but I know there was a storyline similar to it. And I just don't know how I feel about it. They're doing it in the movie, like especially this soon, not long. You know, we're only picking up where we left off in the first one. And he just basically became Venom. Yeah. You know, like you don't need a Superman 2 type, like, oh, great powers. Oh no, I don't want to have my powers anymore. Like Spider-Man 2, Superman 2 type shit. We don't need that with Venom. It's Venom. So, no.
Louis, your dumb white guy voice is the best.
I think it's actually the closest. I think the best way I can describe it is when Stone Cold, when he was a heel before, you know, everybody fucking started loving him in '97. Yeah, he used to do that dumb white guy voice sometimes. That's the dumb fan kind of thing. And it's stuck, and I've using it ever since. So I kind of hijacked it from Steve Austin. So he may give me a stunner if he ever sees me.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of the first movie either. You know, I'll give this one a chance because it's Woody Harrelson, and there isn't very many bad things with Woody Harrelson in it.
Right? No. Yeah, I agree.
Right? You know,
speaking of bad movies with people that we know, what the hell was with that Nicolas Cage movie? What the hell was that?
No, I disagree. I'm into it.
Let's move on to that one then. Unless Josh, you have anything to say about?
Sorry, no. Let's go back to Josh. Are you You got
Yeah.
some kind of opinion on Carnage before we just move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like Venom, so I'm kind of stoked for this one.
I'm with you.
I agree with Lewis. Like, Carnage looked like Carnage from the 90s cartoon, from the comics. He had the tentacles with the blades and everything. The look is there. It's just Tom Hardy is Venom. I just can't seem to connect it, you know? Moose agrees with me. You can hear him barking.
I hear.
I'm with you, and I appreciate that somebody out there in our little group will admit to liking the first movie besides me.
Yeah, I mean, it was enjoyable. Like, I'm not a big fan of the character design of Venom. I think he looks...
It's one of the only things I like about
I'm waiting for Moose to shut up. Where was I going with it? I don't know. He didn't look like... He looked shiny and...
Gooey.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the point of Venom. He's supposed to be gooey and like a symbiote and everything, and...
I don't know. Marvel Legends just look kick-ass looking, though.
What's it?
His Marvel Legends figures kick-ass looking, though.
Yes, it is. I mean, it is.
Yeah, I have them. So, even though I wasn't a big fan of the movie, I have the figure, and it displays very nicely. But, yeah, like you said, it's like the character designs are cool. It's just the story does not go well with it.
Do you know what I hope Woody Harrelson does, though, for this? I hope he goes, like, Natural Born Killers crazy.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That would really set this movie apart if he just went that extra mile of level of craziness. And because that was Cletus. I mean, Cletus was a serial killer. He wasn't all there.
Right.
So
I kind of want him to go full animated series Cletus. Like, come on, man. Give me that stuff, man.
Yeah, just give me, like, straight up crazy serial killer. Like,
I think he's actually unless I'm reading the trailer wrong, but he comes off like they're making him out to be a cannibal.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, especially when he, the whole bit, like, I tasted blood before, but that's not what I tasted before.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree. They go that route. That'd be kind of a nice wrinkle to him.
And that's my opinion on Carnage.
So, Mike.
Yeah, but
tell me,
what was it?
Nicolas Cage, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. And maybe it's the Louis is a little more straight edge than I am. Like, the first thing I did when I watched that Nicolas Cage trailer is, I can't wait to eat a brownie and watch this motherfucker.
That's a fair point.
But it actually came off to me. The vibe I caught from that movie was like a Snake Plissken type of thing in a way.
Okay, sure. Like Escape from New York type.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But it came along with all the crazy that would come along with anything that Nicolas Cage does. So it's going to be even more weird, it looks like. And I got to be honest, I'm into it.
What really got me was that when they were showing like all the all the bombs that he had on him, and he's like looking down at the bottom and like, come on.
Yeah, right.
He's going, boom, that stupid little thing, and they were like kind of like laughing at him for it and shit. Yeah,
it's like this fantasy, sci-fi, western, weird thing, and he fits like right in that world. That's where he belongs.
It's like
that.
So what? Is Escape from New York meets Cowboys and Aliens?
It's just some type of weird. I don't know if it's post-apocalyptic or whatever, but yeah, it's great. And if he just lives in that world and he just acts in that world, that's the Nicolas Cage I want to see for an hour and a half. Because
this is now the second time I've been on this movie.
What's that? The second time? What?
This is the second time I've been on this show, and it's another Nicolas Cage trailer.
Well, Nicolas Cage makes like 8 movies a year. Go back and look at his IMDb. He clocks in like 8 movies a year.
It's true.
He does. But I watched
crazy.
I watched that movie Pig with him in it, and it was a good movie. But it wasn't.
That was a trailer.
It wasn't a Nicolas Cage movie. It was just there was 1/2 second of crazy Nicolas Cage in it, and the rest of it was just like, he was just a homeless dude. It used to be like this really cool chef, and now he's not. And now he's looking for his pig.
What's it called? Prisoners of the Ghostland. Okay.
Yeah, Prisoners of Ghostland.
Yes, he
Yeah,
has
it's
another
kinda like
credit
a-
here. I'm looking at his IMDb right now. Sorry. He has another credit here called for a movie called Willy's Wonderland.
Saw
He's
that one
the
too.
janitor. He's the janitor.
That one was okay. That was
Okay,
definitely
the
low budget. It was like Five Nights at Freddy's type of thing.
Okay, gotcha.
And he spoke like twice in that whole movie. I think that was kind of it was a little boring. It wasn't full cage, but the Philip Dick movie that he did, was it Philip Dick or was it shit? I forget, something about space and time. I can't remember the name of the title of it. That was a good movie. Or was
Outer
that
Space.
or was that a H.P. Lovecraft story? It was one of the two. It was either Philip K. Dick or H.P. Lovecraft wrote the story, and they did a movie on it. It was about like a alien crash landed, and like it was all this weird supernatural crazy shit that was going on with him and his family. That was a good movie. And there was some really shitty ass movie that he did too. It was supposed to be like a Mortal Kombat thing, but
Yeah,
it
it's
wasn't.
called Color Outer Space. It was actually based on the H.P. Lovecraft.
That's it. Color Out of Space. That was really good. That was weird. Mike, that's a Brownie movie for you.
Sounds like it.
It is. It's great. But yeah, more Nicolas Cage movies, please. Josh, which trailer
Yes,
would you like
sir.
to talk about? Got two left.
Why the Last Man?
I had a feeling you'd pick that one.
Yes, because this is one of my favorite comic books. This series, this story has been in production hell for like 10 years. And I'm finally getting it, and I'm excited, and the trailer looks phenomenal. Agent 355 looks awesome. Yorick looks awesome. The story looks true to the source. I'm just so excited for this.
Cool. I remember you telling me that at one point, what's his name was going to be cast for that?
Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be cast in this it was after the first Transformers movie because he was still young, but he wasn't like crazy old, or not crazy old, but he wasn't old like he is now. Like he was still in that nice range, but he was marketable, I should say.
He's before he just started doing like weird street performance shit.
Yeah, he wasn't like sitting in a movie theater eating popcorn. You know, that
I watched it. That's fantastic. I'm gonna tell you, that's a fantastic video. Shia LaBeouf. You guys ever watch that video?
No.
Yeah.
Try to steer clear of anything Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, fantastic! It's performance art, but man, is it good, and it's funny too. I'll get you the link. It's fantastic.
So what's the original graphic novel from? Like what publisher is it?
It was originally written by Brian K. Vaughan, published by Vertigo.
Okay. Oh, DC's Vertigo. All right, cool.
DC Vertigo.
Because I have the DC Universe app, so I may actually try to see if I can find it there.
It's not your superhero story. It's not a superhero. Right. It's a humanity story. It's like The Walking Dead. It's like
that's what it looked like.
Stuff like that. It's not. There's no big huge fights. There's no buildings being smashed. It's not super dupers or anything like that. It's he is literally the last man on Earth. There's a plague that wipes out the entire population. Anybody with a Y chromosome, dead, except for Yorick and his helper monkey Ampersand.
Okay.
And it's just a great humanity story. It was like 60 issues.
When you have a moment, when you have time, when you have about 6 minutes of your life, watch this video. It is fantastic. That's when you have a moment of your life.
Is this the Shia LaBeouf one?
Yeah,
it's really good. So just watch it. You'll enjoy it. Trust me.
I just gotta be 6 minutes of my life I want back.
No, it's good. It's funny though. Anyway, I'm excited for that too, Josh. Man, Why the Last Man? It's I read some of it, but I never finished it. So I have a feeling I'm gonna go back and get the collected volumes and reread it. Because it's been.
I'm going to try to find it on the DC Universe and see if it's in there. Because they have a lot of even older Vertigo stuff in there as well. So
it was early 2000s.
You guys keep talking about it. I'm going to check it. But yeah, man. Actually, I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued with this one, actually. So, like you said, it's like a Walking Dead type. It's more like where humanity goes from here, and how they have to deal with something like I don't know, apocalyptic level
Dystopian.
disaster.
Yeah, it's not apocalyptic though, or
No?
I guess you would call that apocalypse, right? I guess
Yeah.
all the men
Not
dying would
really,
be
because
more dystopian. I guess more dystopian story.
I wouldn't, because it's not really like the entire world has shut down. Like, all the
Right.
women around the world find a way to keep going. And
Right.
it's, some may call it woke. I can't stand that word. I hate that word.
Mike,
Yes.
Mike, just millions of sandwiches never eaten.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. It took me a second. You know what? That fucking trailer, bro. There is a lot of jokes in that trailer, but I don't want to kill our 4% or whatever. But
Oh, it's dropped. We were 11 and now we're at 7, I think it is, or something
that's
like
7.
that.
Okay, but yeah, but still 7 is 7.
Yeah. Why not
Unless
get
they're
rid
in-
of the rest?
I mean, listen, if there's women out there that support Trump, there's women out there that can handle this show. You know what I mean?
It's probably just
that's a fair
Rita and
point.
April. It's probably Rita, April, Vanessa, and Lori that are the 7%.
Yeah, right. Yeah, how many chicks is 7% of 20 people?
3.5.
On a serious note, I can't tell, like, the dude, what's the guy's name again in the movie? Yorick. I don't know if man, there's a lot of positives to being that guy and there's a lot of negatives to being that guy, and we all know what both of those are, positives and negatives.
That's one of the things they touch on in the comic is
What, Death by Snoo Snoo?
Yes.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
But there was a sci-fi series I was watching. I can't remember the name of it. It was a couple of years ago, but it was like a space thing, and they encountered a ship that was like derelict, and it was like old, and it was around for like 50 years or something. And it was lost, and all the women had, how did they like enslave the men? They had them all tied down to tables, and they were basically for reproduction. And that's it. They were keeping them alive and healthy, and not, they were just basically prisoners forever. And they were just, and the women took over, and they had this like generational colony ship type of thing going on. And then I forget how it went. Like if any men were born or whatever, they were locked away as well in a certain part of the ship that they weren't exposed to any of the other women type of thing. It was scary. It was like very horror story-esque, like when you say, "Oh, I'm the only guy left on this island of women." Nope. It was like, I don't want to be that guy in that situation.
I'm going to tell you something on a serious note, and I mean this. I think a planet full of only women, with or without that one guy, but let's just take him out of the equation altogether and just say that it's just all women. I feel like the planet would be run differently and most likely better than the way it currently is, because I feel like women, for all the, like, we joke around about, like, their faults, they're catty, they get catty with each other, and they're a little nutty, and they're complicated, and this and that and all the other thing. But I don't think that women are what's the word I'm looking for? Like, when you like corrupted. They're not corrupted by the things that dudes are corrupted by, that affects politics and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? No, I'm being for real. Like, all a lot of evil women that I've met. The sex scandals and the and money and power and all that kind of shit. Now, I'm sure they got that shit to a little bit of a degree, but I don't think it's anywhere near what it is for dudes. And I think that there was a lot of people out there that were, a lot of dudes out there in politics and other shit that were completely fucked over by, like, the pussy.
Oh, Hillary Clinton did run over a guy and kill a guy.
So
there's that.
there was an old Sliders episode. They slid into a parallel world where the majority was women and the minority was men, and they ran the country, and they had they abused men the same way that men abused women like back in the day.
Right.
And it was
Like not letting them vote and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yep. And Arturo was like, he wanted to, like, he was the fighting for men's rights and stuff like that, and running for office and all that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, Rembrandt was like, I don't know if you guys remember the show or not, but he was like the singer, of the group. And he was like,
Right.
and the one woman was like, oh yeah, she's like, oh, you have a great voice. Yeah, you're so good. And like, here, we'll get you, get you signed onto the label. And he's like, oh great. And he had, he slept with her. And then she was like, oh no, we're not gonna do any of that stuff. So, it's basically casting couch type of thing. So like, yeah, it was like basically reverse the roles and everything.
Right.
But I don't think that it would be better, in my opinion. I think it would be different, but I think that it would still fall into the same issues
So
that
the results will be very similar. It'll be different, but the results will be kind of similar to where they are now.
Yeah, people craving power, people craving money. It'll be all that type of stuff.
It's not gender. All that stuff is not gender based per se.
Right.
What all that stuff isn't. Yeah, I'm not saying that it wouldn't be. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be still going on. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm basing it on science pretty much. Like if you send a guy into a bar full of women and let's say a married guy at that into a bar full of women, and all these women are fucking hitting on him, that fucking dude is way more likely to, I think, make a whore out of himself than if you send a girl into a bar full of dudes. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like they're it's different. If me and Vanessa were both single and we went out, she would, definitely come home with, I just set myself up for you guys telling me that's because she's way better looking than me, but I just feel like it's easier for them.
Hands down, she's way more better looking than you.
Yeah. I caught myself like in the middle of the sentence.
Yeah.
But you know the point I'm trying to make. I don't know. I just feel like overall as a whole, I feel like they're better human being. Like on average are better human beings than we are.
I don't know about
more
that.
Logical, I guess. A little more logical.
Give me an example of why you think they're better human beings.
I just did give you. I just gave you a couple examples.
Besides the bar sex thing, like what else makes them better humans?
I just feel like they're even though they get catty with each other, I feel like they're nicer to each other. Like us, like we're built to be alphas. Like, so when other dudes are like, especially if they do what we do, we're not as likely to compliment them or tell them like, hey, you're a killer guitar player, or you're this or you're that. Like, chicks will just tell each other how that they're pretty and this and that.
No,
I know they do. I'm sure they
talk
do.
a lot of shit behind their back versus like what men do. There's a comic I remember seeing, like the one panel was like there was like three women at a bar, and they go, okay, I'm gonna go, I'll see you guys later. Oh, it's nice to see you later, honey. Bye bye. And then after she left, she's like, oh man, she's such a bitch, she's a whore.
Right.
And then the bottom panel showed like the guy going, hey, see you later, asshole. All right, dude, see you later, dick. And then he walks away and like, he's a good guy. He's what a great guy.
well listen, when we might both be right. All I want to do is just point out to everybody listening right now that just remember when Jed is making all the vacuum cleaner and sandwich jokes, and then acting like it's me all the time, that this part of the show happens.
I learned it by watching you. I learned it by watching you, Mike.
Mike,
all right.
You almost forgot that I did work at a women's clothing store for 3 years.
Yeah, Lewis. What's your opinion?
You were like the Al Bundy variant.
Yeah, I was before the 17-year job I had previous, my last 3 years of retail where I had a women's clothing store. And believe me, I worked into conversations that it will get guys fired if we had the same conversation. The roles were reversed. Like, seriously, if it was like a couple dudes talking at the store and the woman walked in the conversation, that would have been the kind of, there was such a double standard of that job when it comes to that stuff.
I used to work at Cedarbrook in the kitchen, and they had like 5 managers. And I used to work in the office, as a dietary, like doing menus and diabetic stuff and shit like that. And there was like 2 guys that were managers, and the other 3 were women. When those guys would leave the office, they would do nothing but talk bad about those 2 guys. And when they come back in, they would talk as nice as shit to them. And the one time, they were just talking about something. Oh, I can't believe that, Chris did this. I can't believe that Dean did this. I can't believe this. Why? And I said, and just me being stupid, because I was young, and I'm like, well, why don't you just ask them? Why don't they do that? And the next day I was out of that office working the line. The rest of the time I was there, I was never in that office ever again.
Wow.
Yeah, man, they kicked me out.
Like, that's how quickly you learn, right?
Yeah,
well,
man.
Mike, remember also freaking little Scotty used to work with me at one point at that place, and he would tell you stories, man. Like,
yeah, but listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Like, and don't get me wrong, I like little Scotty a lot, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like he was a little bit of an embellisher sometimes.
Yeah, but no, but not even that. Like, there was a time I remember I was actually coming into work that day, and he called me up. He's like, dude, bring the, remember there was a poster, I think not long after September 11th happened, there was like a patriotic poster for WWE of, what's the name? Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler in patriotic bikinis.
Yeah.
Remember that one? Josh was like, I remember this one.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Josh just finished.
Yep.
Yeah.
3 times.
In the cup.
Well, I don't know how I ended up getting it, but I had like a, full size poster of that Raw cover at one point, and I was in the plant. I was moving alone. Like I was roommates with my sister at the time, and I was about to move out, and so I had that still rolled up in like the case or whatever. And Scotty called me like, "Dude, bring that poster in." I'm like, "Why?" Like, "Oh, so and so came in here with an Abercrombie & Fitch shopping bag, and she wants to put it in the break room and whatever." I'm like, you remember those Abercrombie like shopping bags with like the dudes like in their shirtless and all that or whatever. And I remember walking into work and talking to the manager like, listen, if that was reversed and we walked in with a freaking thing like that and we put it in the break room, we would have gotten fired. You know what I mean? It would have been like sexual harassment, blah blah blah. So what makes this any different? So I basically just pointed that out, and dude, the rest of the girls in that dating a couple of days, like, it's true. Like, when Scotty used to call it, they fucked you with a double standard. But it was true. It's like, listen, I'm thinking here logically. Had I been me bringing in like a girl in a bikini and put that in the break room, I would have probably gotten human resources called and possibly fired. Mm-hmm. So how come it's okay for y'all to do it? But if I did it, come on, like, think logically here. Let's, you want equality, you gotta think equality. And this is like, what, 18 years ago? So,
yeah, Lewis, just say you were offended.
Yeah,
right?
Not offended. I just started in the same, I wasn't necessarily offended. It was more in the sense of like, I think Scotty was more offended than I was. I didn't give a shit. But it was more in the sense of like, listen, if the roles were reversed, this wouldn't fly. So let's make this, let's be real about this. This can't happen here. So, and obviously they took offense to that, and I was like, whatever. But like I said, that's something, again, like you said with the whole thing with, I wasn't allowed in that office anymore. Mm-hmm. That was me, my live and learn moment. Like, it's fair as long as on there, it was fair as long as it was on the fair side of the majority, not the other way around. So,
right.
This
episode is going to go down. This episode is going to go down in history about how we were like just ripping women apart, and Mike was like, "No, women are the best."
Yeah, let the record reflect. Wait, you know what? We have Josh. Josh? Are you keeping a what do you call it? Like a log or whatever? Are you
Switzerland? He's staying neutral.
I like boobs.
Keeping the minutes.
I love my wife. That is all.
Let the record show that Josh posted a bikini-clad picture of 2 women in the chat.
He did. I was about to thank him. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, that's it. That's the picture.
So
Yes.
Carnage.
The record show, that's the actual photographic evidence and poster I was mentioned.
So
but no,
Carnage,
that's-
right?
So
Yeah.
Carnage.
On
the
our-
bottom
on our-
line, yeah. The bottom line is this: I think we all have our faults. It's like no matter if the roles were reversed, I don't think society will be any different than what it is now. We all have egos, and we all have ways to be influenced, I guess.
Right.
So it doesn't matter whether male or female. It's just at the end of the day, it's still the same. We guys deal with the same ending, so to speak.
Right. Yep. And I disagree. Shout out to the 7%. What's next? We're on our way to a 6-hour episode. What's next?
What was the last trailer? Was the horror trailer? I can't remember the name of it though.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. I think I remember. It's a Netflix show, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Midnight Mass.
that's it.
Yeah. When it's the first thing it said was like from the same people I made the House on Haunted Hill and like, oh no, I'm thinking of the other one, the Bly Road one or Bly whatever, Bly Manor.
Oh, Hunting Hill's House. Yeah,
They were all the same people, right?
right.
I don't know. I would probably watch it, but it has like 2 episodes to get my attention because I tried watching that Bly Manor one and I was like, this is fucking boring.
Yeah, they didn't catch me in, man. I was just more like, what? Because I think this was the first. Actually, no, this was the. Which one in order I watched? This was, I think, the first of the trailers I saw, and I was like, okay.
I included because it was kind of creepy and it was kind of weird, and I thought maybe they were going to do like a whole Satan is the priest type of thing.
Yeah,
and like a that Stephen King story where the devil opened the shop, and he was selling all that shit. Was it called Needful Things?
Yes, Needful Things.
Needful Things. I thought it might do like a religious Needful Things type of thing situation.
yeah, but isn't Greg Giraldo like the freaking priest in this Netflix series? Am I thinking that wrong?
I don't know. Maybe.
He looked like Greg Giraldo to me, man. I was like, wait a second. Because everything I ever seen him in, it's been like, comedic. So I was like, okay, hopefully,
I don't know.
It could either be that or actually, no, I know who that. Okay, I see. I saw the list right now. Actually, I don't think maybe I'm misremembering him. It might be Henry Thomas that I'm looking at here. I don't know, but he just like it was meh. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah,
at least to me.
Let's see. So that's it for the trailers. Did you guys watch the first episode?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get to it yet. Nah, I'm sorry. I didn't get to it yet. I'm in the.
Okay.
I'm like halfway through everything. I'm halfway through War for Cybertron, Kingdom. I'm halfway through He-Man. It was a crazy busy week. Vanessa had a lot of shit going on, and I worked a little bit of overtime, and I had 3 gigs last weekend, and one of them was in Virginia, and it was just like we've been running every day. So I haven't had a whole hell of a lot of time to watch stuff.
Right.
How do you like the voice acting
Yeah,
for Transformers Kingdom?
that thing. The only one that really like bugged me with the William Shatner thing was injured Optimus Prime. It's like, listen, people on their fucking deathbed talk, better than that. You know what I mean? Like, how fucking you're on your feet. Stop talking like that.
You're on your feet. Get out of it.
And I hated Beast Wars Megatron. Just sounded like a goon.
Yeah.
Like I always pictured him. I don't know. Oh god damn it! What was the original voice actor's name? I feel
David
terrible
K.
being on the number 1 Beast Wars podcast, and that's it, David K. Like I don't know, man. He always his Megatron always had this like air of confidence and this Megatron sounded Beast Wars Megatron just sounded like a fucking more like a henchman goon. Yeah, which I didn't dig a whole hell of a lot. Overall, like I like it so far. I'm 4 episodes in. How many are there? 6 or 7? 6?
6, I think.
6. I'm like 4 in, and I do overall. I like it. I like the dynamic between Maximals, Predacons, Autobots, and Decepticons, and the whole but yeah, the voice acting. There's a couple good ones in there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I would say more of them decent than not decent, but Optimus is annoying and fucking Beast Wars Megatron's annoying, and I don't know. I like the who's the dude that plays Starscream? Is that Frank Todaro or whatever?
Yeah.
Is he the one that's doing? He does a pretty good Starscream, I think.
Blasphemy. Sorry. Blasphemy, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm the only good Starscream.
I'm just glad. I'm happy that
the trailer War for Cybertron Falls 2 dropped this past week on YouTube. It looks pretty good. And I got one of my lines is in the trailer. So that's coming out in December.
Yeah, I forgot to say that at the beginning of the show too. We got another Harris is doing another video.
Right.
And I just finished my voiceovers last night for Overlord, and Jed, you say you're doing Repugnus? Is that no Repugnus?
Mm-hmm. What should he sound like, by the way?
I was thinking about that. They, it's not like you want to base it on the Japanese version because you're speaking English and shit like that. But like, he's in was it Headmasters? Was he in, or Master Force? He was in one of those, Victory or Master Force, one of those like Japanese ones. But he never had. I don't think he showed up in season 4 in America, if I remember correctly.
I don't.
So
remember.
you have basically a clean slate, which could be a good thing because you could put your own spin on it, or you. Yeah, I don't know. There's really nothing to go on. So
you just wonder if it's more what's that, Josh?
They did in the Cyberverse cartoon. Repugnus, I think, was in it.
Oh,
like one of the newer Transformers cartoons. I mean, you can go off of that, but
do you think he's more of like a gravelly animal kind of voice, or more of a? Well, I think maybe I'll just use my deeper voice and sound.
Well, here's how I see him. I see him as and I don't know if this will help you out, but I see him as an Insecticon on steroids.
I was thinking the exact same thing. But like, with like a clicking, like the what are those bug things from Rick and Morty?
The alien things?
Yeah, Nathan Fillion voiced one of them.
Oh, right.
Like that kind of like almost like a predator sound, clicking and like snarling.
Snarling.
You know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah, I'll have to play around with it. I'll make something up, something brand new and fresh.
Or you just have Lewis do his white guy voice.
Or maybe you should do your impression of my white guy voice.
There you go. Money printed. $1 billion right there.
An impression. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Just just give me a little bit of credit. That's all I want.
Did everybody watch Suicide Squad?
Yes.
No, I have not. No.
But I heard it was awesome, so I'm definitely shit.
All I'm gonna say is that I laughed a lot in it, and that's a good thing. Like, it's hilarious.
I know you liked it. I think it's one of those movies, Mike Lewis, where either you're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it.
Ah, gotcha. So basically, you laugh like Josh. You laugh more like it was more like the jokes were very like Guardians of the Galaxy type jokes, or is it more like?
Oh, totally, totally.
Okay.
James Gunn knows what he's doing with these kind of movies, and it shows. I mean, a lot of the characters were jokes themselves, but Polka Dot Man, you never thought you actually care about Polka Dot Man until you watch this movie.
Pokemon Man.
Polka Dot Man.
Pokemon Man. Actually, I think I will find Pokemon Man more interesting than Polka Dot Man.
After you watch this movie, you'll change your mind. Trust me.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I was thinking of while I was watching it is that there's funny things that are like by the numbers that you've seen before, but there's a lot of stuff that's funny that's not. It's like fresh and like new, like it's a new comedy thing that it catches you off guard and it makes you laugh. That's one thing that I liked about the movie.
Okay.
I will say, Lewis, that John Cena, great in this movie.
Really?
Yes, he is. He's really good for this role as Peacemaker, and just hearing him swear is just really weird.
Yeah, it is. Well, he used to swear in the Thugonomics era, sort of, but
Oh, he really busts off the F-bombs and the there's a really funny scene. It's in a trailer, I think, about, eating a bunch of dicks on the beach for peace. And it's hilarious.
I mean, oh man, I don't know if you noticed, but I don't know if you've seen him. He's been showing up like I guess promoting the movie in full costume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been shown, which is freaking hilarious because it's kind of funny. People are like, well, he is a wrestler, so he's used to funny costume. Like he wrestles in a shirt and jean shorts.
Yeah.
Like completely the opposite of what you expect when it comes to wrestling. People still think of Hulk Hogan and all that. So
I thought Idris Elba was the probably the funniest out of everybody in the movie.
That dude's a good actor, man.
He is awesome in this movie. He's so much better than Will Smith.
Speaking of, he's gonna actually be voicing Knuckles in the next Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You guys get to see that movie, by the way? The Sonic the Hedgehog.
I love that movie. It's a great movie. I watch it with my kids all the time. It was a good movie. It's a movie for kids, and it was 100% for kids, and it's written for kids. But as an adult who loves Sonic the Hedgehog, I liked it a lot.
It was one of those like the old early 2000s like Nickelodeon shows, like the cartoons were like Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron that were made for kids. They're aimed at kids, but even adults went, that's funny. Okay, that's good. That's good.
It has that, like, sometimes they slip in the innuendo that the parents will get, but the kids won't, type of thing.
Right.
But there's
That's
like
exactly what it
a lot of cool action shots and stuff that are like, it's I like it a lot. That was really good.
A lot of people hated on the new Space Jam. I actually liked it.
I didn't see it.
It was.
And this is coming from a guy who doesn't like LeBron James.
I heard it was like really long.
An automatic bias over that, and actually I thought it was fun. I mean, it's again aimed at kids. I did like the references to the original Space Jam, even though it's not a direct sequel or even like he referenced it. He just kind of like gave a couple winks and nods to that the Michael Jordan Space Jam, and I thought it was funny. But I was like, whoa, it was a big commercial for the WB. I'm like, you go to the WB lot. That's what the actual WB lot would look like.
Right.
This is not a, there's, it's very meta. I'm like, it's how it would look like if you went in there. So,
right.
And a lot of people complain, even the intro, like, the intro was long and, they were, LeBron James, this and that. I'm like, have you seen the original Space Jam intro? It was essentially Jordan's career highlight from like freaking high school all the way to like the fourth title.
Mm-hmm.
Up to that time. Like, this is no different. Just takes longer because it's a longer career per se at that point in time. So, there was a lot of nitpicks about that movie that they were just like, have you seen the original? Like, really? It's just it's basically a callback. Like, it's no different than that callback in the first one. It's some nitpicks are just out of like, I don't know. If it's cheesy, obviously yes, it's aimed at kids. I think some of the best scenes to me were the animated ones. Made it LeBron was fucking.
I think that's the problem is that all the kids that saw it when they were a kid back, was it 25 years ago? It's they're adults now and they're like, oh, I want it to be just like what I remember, and that's the
problem with today though. Like you don't want things to be exactly like they remember. It's not gonna age well if you do that. Things grow. Same thing with again. There's another rabbit hole. Faking Master Universe Revelations. The directional the same thing. This is not. Have you watched the original He-Man cartoon? Come on now.
Do you know what, Louis? You're a good litmus test for that. I mean, you're a big, huge He-Man fan. So, did you like the Revelation?
I enjoyed the shit out of it, dude. I enjoyed it. Like every second of it, man. Like it was awesome. They made Orko freaking relevant for spoiler alert, for the little bit of time he was on screen. Orko was actually not a buffoon, which was awesome. They actually made Evelyn a little more, I don't know, they added more depth to her character in there.
When Evelyn took her helmet off and she had that white hair, I was like, wow, she's hot.
Does the carpet match the drapes?
Good question. But honestly, no, a lot of people complain, not enough He-Man. The show is not called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Revelations. It's called Masters of the Universe Revelation. He-Man is not even in the title. So why are these people expecting? I just don't get it. Like, if it's not
Well,
exactly,
I get what they're expecting. Like, cause
Oh, yeah.
it was. I get that they expected He-Man. Like, I understand that.
yeah,
I don't understand the outrage over the story. It's like 30%
Yeah,
cunts, like Brother Kyle usually says.
yeah,
I think a lot of people enjoyed it, but I think that a lot of people that were enjoying it were just I enjoyed it. I definitely wasn't arguing with anybody online about it.
no, same here. I think to me it felt like Avengers Infinity War. I'm waiting for their end game basically at this point. I'm waiting for, that moment of like everything's gonna turn back around. You know what I mean? At least I hope. But it left me wanting more, and that's the whole point. he basically let me freaking go to the store and go, oh look, Battle Cat. Oh look, He-Man. Like,
Mhm.
like, to me, like, it's a evolution that was expected. You're not gonna be this, it's not gonna be the same plot points as the show from almost 40 years ago. It's not gonna
Mhm.
happen. I mean, I think actually it's more closely resembling to the 2000X cartoon, which I enjoyed as in my early to mid 20s. When my brother's 18 years younger than me. That was his He-Man.
Right.
The 2000X He-Man was his He-Man. Same thing with the 03 Turtles. That was his Turtles. So, even though I enjoyed those Turtles as well, I enjoy the 03 Turtles more than the 87 Turtles. I know, blasphemy, but it's just because it felt to me, the 03 Turtles felt to me like an animated version of the 90 movie Turtles. And at least in the way the characters were written and the style, like their personalities match more to that. So hell, the Casey Jones origin was essentially the same as the freaking movie.
Did you see that? Did you
Yeah.
see that? Was it a movie or was it? I think it was a movie when they brought all the different turtles together.
Turtles Forever?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, when they
Yes,
told them
I love it.
they
I
told them
love it.
they told them Mirage Turtles that they were scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, no. When the Mirage Turtles they went to the Mirage verse, freaking Raphael was like, "Yeah, finally."
Hey, Jed. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. No, nothing.
Okay.
No, but the whole joke in that movie was Raphael breaking the fourth wall a few times, and every time he broke the fourth wall, one of the characters from the old three Turtles kept looking at the camera like, "Who's he talking to?" And it finally flips out. Like the third time he does, and he goes, "Why do you keep doing that? Who are you talking to? There's no one there." So that's what got me cracking up, man. I think I actually found that more fun than the 2012 version of the Turtles meeting up with the 87 Turtles, because they basically like shit on them so bad, like, "Oh, these guys can't fight." That made it, to me at least, it was more. I felt like it was more offensive per se, even though it is kind of true. The Turtles in the 87 cartoons never really fought. It was more like they used like props rather than weapons. But again, cartoons in the 80s, that's all you had to do. Had the leeway we have nowadays. So, but Masters of the Universe, man, it was freaking. I thought it was awesome, honestly.
Cool.
Yeah. What did you think about it, Jen?
So I liked it. I liked the way that they did the character development of everything, and they turned it a different way. I always like those dystopian, whatever how they pronounce it, dystopian storylines where everything's great. Yeah, everything's great. Something happens, the world and the characters go to shit, and then they have to like crawl back up out of that fucking pit that they're in.
Almost
that's
like a Mad
exactly
Max thing.
where. Yeah, it's because and like Mike and I were talking about this last show. I was really surprised with the whole technology as a religion storyline.
Oh,
with
yes.
all the characters that were part mechanical. Yeah, that was really cool. I never even, that's something, that was that I wouldn't even have thought of for like a storyline for that.
Right, and the fact that the magic, like basically the sort of power held like most of the magic in turn the whole universe. I think that was actually pretty. How powerful how powerful that sword actually really is. So
yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah, absolutely! I can't wait.
So normally we switch over to weird news, but Mr. Levy Curry's not here this week. He sent me stories, but I think I'm just gonna save it for next time he's here, so that he can go over.
He's better at reading those.
He has a special style to his weird news.
He has a panache.
So with that,
It's not really a special.
yeah.
It's not really a special style. It's just genital mutilation.
I think what Jed's trying to say there is I don't want to be here till 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Toy news.
All right. First off, I put the link in the chat. X-Transbots went on some epic tear over the past week or two since we last met up. And they released a bunch of new reveals and a couple of older reveals that had updates, and this is one of the latter. It's their Galvatron named Abaddon, and they're showing off some color renders. And I put that in the chat. And right out of the gate, I think it looks pretty good. Like compared to the Fans Toys one, Fans Toys always does a real good job of like skating that line in between the real world look and the cartoon look. This one is a little more cartoon inspired and a little cleaner and stuff. But it looks good, but you know, Sovereign was so freaking good. I don't see any reason to replace it. The only thing that kind of bothers me about this one, and it's a slight nitpick, I feel like his cannon is a little short and stumpy looking.
I completely agree with you on that aspect.
And the other thing, I'm not sure if it. Oh yeah, okay, they do have it off to the side. I was gonna say there's one. I guess you could kind of either have it on the top of his wrist or on the side of his wrist. It looks like there might be one where he's holding it like a gun too. I can't tell.
That's in the first picture. This is what I was talking about, Mike. With which I'm assuming you're going to want to talk about the King Toys Gorilla. But I like that placement more than like underneath the hand or on top of the hand.
Yeah, I hear you.
See, I like that look. I like that thicker cannon look.
Yeah.
To it.
Short and stumpy.
Yeah, I don't think it's short. I think it's thicker. I think the cannon itself is a little bit more chunkier than, you know, the Fans Toys version.
Pulling up a pic. Oh, you know who did
Did somebody do a comparison pic?
Yeah. Somebody. I'm pulling that up right now.
Usually Cheem does that stuff.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly right.
away.
It's on the name chalk wall. I just got to scroll down a second here and see where the hell they put them.
Oh, I'm back.
Lewis entered the building.
Yeah. No, it's called my I guess our Wi-Fi just went, so I'm using the hotspot on my phone.
Dude, tell me about him.
Jesus
My internet
Christ.
goes in and
there it
out.
Yeah. So what did I miss?
Nah, yeah, that's
Not much. We started.
The Fans Toys one is way longer.
Ah.
And it's coming. Like if you that picture there, if you look at it, like the Fans Toys, the actual cannon part, the orange part starts all the way up by the elbow, and then like that part at the back is like behind that, and the X-Transbots one starts like more like up near the middle of the wrist, and it's definitely a little longer. And you know what? The real answer is probably somewhere in between there if you're going for like cartoon accuracy, because the Abaddon's looks short and Sovereign's looks long, and Sovereign's looks too skinny and Abaddon's looks like too chubby. It looks like the cartoon model that they have right there is right in the middle, but you know, who cares really? I guess whatever your personal preference is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the X-Transbots looks more cartoon accurate, at least from what I see.
Now that's also a render too. You know, we'll have to see what it looks like when it's actually die cast in plastic. But
Right.
Gotcha.
yeah, they cleaned the legs up a little bit more. Looks like it looks a little cleaner, but I don't think Fans Toys was necessarily going for clean. I think they look like they were going for a little more detail.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody in? Anybody in?
No.
So this next one, let's move on. This next one is Deformation Space Red Spider, DS01 Red Spider. This is the Starscream that kind of looks like an amalgamation between Make Toys and the official. And I'm telling you right now, man, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people hold my opinion. If this one is built nice, this one might be the best one out of all of them, in my opinion, anyway.
That backpack is so clean.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah, there's I don't know. I mean, I have the Make Toys, and there's a few things that could be improved with it, of course. But I don't know if I want to spend $200 just for those few things, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's retailing at, right? 200, I think.
200, yeah, 200. I feel like this one out of all of them nails from the waist down, like totally nails it, man. The legs look awesome. Without like, dude, I totally feel like the MP52. If you really look at it, especially from certain angles, it really kind of has like a dad bod with like. I skip leg day legs a little, you know. Like I feel like this one. Like I feel like if this one and the MP52 got in a fight, this one would kick its ass. Like it just looks more heroic.
The MP52 would look like the muscle guys from the old Warner Brother cartoons with like the big bodies and skinny legs.
I mean, not quite to that extent, you know, like the Crusher, not quite to that extent. I just feel like these, I don't know, just a little, especially the thigh areas look a little skinny. But this one, I don't know, man. This one feels like it did it. And like there's that the one picture, maybe it's like the third or fourth picture where he's like, it's the Khan picture, Khan, you know, he's like kneeling and like got his fist to the sky. Shout out to Star Trek. If I didn't think I'd fucking throw that out there.
You fucking nerd.
But yeah, it looks nice in jet mode. It looks great in robot mode. It looks articulated as fuck. Like I'm in on it as an experiment because I have zero faith in Make Toys to finish the Coneheads, and I would hate to start over on Seekers, but man, this is really nice. So I'm at least giving it a shot.
I think I'm gonna wait till somebody gets it and like reviews it and see how well it's built and stuff like that.
Well, you could wait until I get mine, and next time we do the show in person after I get it, you can handle it yourself.
Do you believe the rumors that this is a transform elephant?
I don't I won't really be able to speak on it until there's like proof of it, but like, you know, that's what I keep seeing, you know, but I still haven't saw anything from anybody that is in the know. It's always kind of like rumor type stuff. So who knows? But if it is Transform Element, that's great because I feel like they make a pretty decent product. So, you know, that gives me hope because it's like, man, who the hell jumps in on a Seeker? You know what I mean? Like this is definitely, it looks like somebody that's been around the block.
I mean, it's totally not my wheelhouse, where it looks really nice.
When they did we had the what was it? You had like 3 primes, I think it was, right? Did you have the Magic Square, Transform Element?
I got 4 primes actually.
Which ones did you get from Transform Element? There was the
Transform Element one. I got the Magnus version. The other, what was the other
Nemesis, right? And
no. Magic Square. I got the Magnus, and Transform Element. I got the Nemesis. MP44 is my prime, and then the MP10 is my Shattered Glass.
Right. And then, did you get the Mirage that they did?
I got the Mirage. Yes, I got the Mirage, and I really like it.
Those were built pretty good, right?
Those were built pretty good. I know that there was that little mix up with the Mirage, like having the hip on, or, you know, backwards, and you had to, but you know, it was no big deal. It was fixed in 5 minutes. But as far as like as a whole, I thought it was built pretty nice, and it was it improved on a couple of things that the Oculus Max one did really well, and I think the Oculus Max one's a really nice figure, but I do prefer the Transform Element one a little more.
Well, maybe that's what that's the direction they're going.
Yeah.
Hey Mike, you talked about that pose where he's on his knees, like, you know, like you call it a pose. That's actually the pose we all make when we go to the game. We can't find the exclusives.
Yeah, right.
It looks really cool, though. I gotta admit, though, this, like I said, not my wheelhouse, but it looks really freaking cool. Especially like the articulation. I can see that he has a really nice echo pivot and all that. Like,
and
like this.
A waist swivel, which is unforgivable that the MP52 doesn't have one, and it looks like it has an ab crunch and everything. Like it looks like tip top when it comes to articulation. So. Let's see.
Can I interrupt Toy News and go back to Nerd News for 1 second? I just got a inside scoop on something. I am posting a picture in the chat. This is your first official look at the live action Moon Knight.
What?
Hang on, I'm posting. Yep.
Oh, that's leaked. No, that's leaked, dude. That's not official.
Yeah,
that's leaked. Whatever it is, but here's your first look at Moon Knight.
Right. It looks cool if it's real. It might be not. But yeah, it looks good, man.
That looks
fucking awesome.
He will be he will be going into the Marvel Cinematic Duberverse as Spark Spectre.
Nice. All right. Sorry to interrupt Toy News, but
The
that
link
just
right
gave me chills.
the link that I put in the chat right above the Moon Knight picture is X Transbots making another reveal, and this time it is Jansen, which is their Perceptor.
I said this in the group chat, man. But I'm gonna say it right now. X Transbot dropped that thick fucking reveal dick this week, man. This thing is just fucking.
They did put out a lot of good shit, and this looks good.
Hasbro just showed their Kingdom Perceptor today too.
Yeah.
No, is that Studio Series?
I'm sorry, Studio Series.
Studio Series. Yep. So there was, and I don't have it right on me right now, but there was also on the Dame Chalk wall there was a comparison between this one and the Fans Toys one as well, and it's like, man, both of them kind of do different things really well. One area where X Transbots always fucking kills it is accessories. Like, dude, I love the accessories this thing comes along with. Like, it comes with like the beakers, and it comes with multiple guns, and he actually does come with a reticle eye face or whatever.
Yeah,
and
I saw that. It's awesome.
The fucking best part of the accessories, I thought, which is like, at first I thought when they were showing the pictures that they have here that they were just using like world's smallest Bumblebee and world's smallest Brawn and this and that. And then I realized that it was actually like them from that episode, the Heart of Cybertron episode, when they shrunk themselves down to go inside Megatron.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that is such a cool touch. And if you look at those little figures, like, they all look pretty nicely articulated, man. So yeah, that's actually, so I don't know. I'm, man, on the fence. This is one of them situations where I might just get them both, and if I like one or the other, I just sell the other, you know. And if it's Sovereign or not Sovereign, Tesla, you know, so be it. But like, it's like, man, I hate to give up those. I might, if I get it and I end up liking the Fans Toys one better, I might keep those little guys, man. Keep them little guys in the beakers and shit. That shit is cool.
It was interesting.
I see it now.
I found the comparison pic, Mike.
Oh yeah. So like, you know, I feel like the Fans Toys one is more, I don't want to say proportionate, but he looks a little more heroic, and the X Transbots is almost like a little bulky. But then when you look at the animation model, the animation model is a little bulky.
I may cancel my Fans Toys Tesla and get this X Transbots one.
You know what? From a financial standpoint, dude, I might just keep the. If you really feel like you like the X Transbots one better, I might still get the Tesla and just look to resell that one down the line.
The
like
2.0.
Yeah, because like Fans Toys shit just is going crazy with like prices, man. You could probably make a couple bucks off of that shit.
Mm-hmm. This guy, I'll probably get the X Transbots of this if it doesn't come out in 5 years.
Oh no, this doesn't come out before Virtus does.
Oh, absolutely. This will absolutely come out before.
It's
right, that was the first one
out before Virtus. All of it. Just having so many problems with that salad plate. Just got to push it back to engineering again. Back to formula.
Up next, we have KFC teasing the last of their Junkions. There's going to be 6 of them. There's going to be the 4. So I went on a hunt a while ago, and I looked up all the Junkions that were actually named in G1 in the cartoon. And, you know, I put them on this like bucket list, like, and there was only, you know, when they came out with those last 4 to make it a total of 6, I was like, well, this will probably be it. You know, it's probably a pipe dream to get those last ones. And I'll be dipped in shit if a couple of days ago they actually did the last. It's like they were looking at that same list. They did all of them. Plus they did a yellow one with a yellow head with like horns on them that is based on a Junkion that showed up in the UK Transformers comic. And then they did their homage to Psycho, which actually looks pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it does.
Psycho, man.
I actually like it too. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I love it. I'm not going to get it because I got to draw the line somewhere. But I do think it's cool. I like the one Smithereen, his name is. He's kind of got like this, the tire comes apart into this crazy, like, I don't know. It's like it looks like an axe mixed with like one of those like grabby hand things that like the old people have with the handle and the trigger on it, where they usually get shit off the top shelf. Like, I think it looks cool as hell though. Yeah, the grabber. Yeah, like I don't know. I really, man. Well, and this is they did say, they said it right in the post that this is the last of them, and they're going to be limited to 800 per figure worldwide.
Oh jeez, that's
so
really limited.
But yeah, I got my pre-orders in. I'm in on all 5 actual Junkions. I left the Cycle alone, even though I think it's pretty cool.
Are they going to drop these all at one time? Are they going to gradually release them?
So they, according to my pre-orders on Chosen Prime, they were all, I believe, listed for, or they might have just said first quarter. Hang on, I'm looking them up right now. No, March. All 6 of them say March of 2022.
Oof. Didn't they drop last time? At the same time?
The last 4, they dropped them. They dropped them within weeks of each other, and I think if I remember correctly, they could have dropped them all at the same time, but they were trying to give people a breather for a couple weeks, which was probably smart. So even though these all say March, I'm sure they'll probably come out, with a tiny little bit of time in between them.
So how many of these are they making? Only 800?
Only 800 each, yeah. Which I guess kind of makes some sense because they already have all these parts made and shit, except for the couple of little retool pieces. So it's not like they have to make a ton of them to make their money because they already, these are like seekers at this point. So they don't got to make a ton of them, but I don't think they could make a ton of them because I think these are a real niche kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
They, like people like me will get them, like completists will get them, but how many people are really wanting 4 or 5 Junkions that made an appearance in that one episode or those 2 episodes?
I just love that the one, his weapon of choice is a faucet.
Yeah. I do like that.
The previous ones that came out, are they all sold out?
That I don't know.
Because that could have drove, how the limited run. Which I have a feeling that's probably basic for what they're doing for these Junkions. I'm sure it's it's going to be a small runs for all of them.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I'm wondering if they're going to, because I think the Rekgar and the other one, Junkyard or whatever his name was, his first 2. I think they might have did like a metallic paint. Yeah, they did. They did a metallic paint.
Are they still ever? Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just gonna say they did metallic paint Dumpyard or Junkyard as his cartoon name was, and Rekgar. So I'm wondering if they're gonna also do these guys metallic and the rest of the other guys metallic, which I won't fucking get. Not after buying 12 of them or no 11 of them. It's like, nah, man, I'm not replacing 11 of them for the metallic paint.
Did they like kind of like advertise the same thing where you can like mix and match parts?
They didn't advertise it, but it's the same mold, so I'm sure that you can. I'm sure that they are kind of, what's the word that they use when you can mix it?
Interchangeable.
Modular.
That's it. Yes, yeah. Modular.
Because wasn't that supposed to be a big thing where you could like pull this part off and put it on another dude and make your own Junkion type of thing?
Yeah. And I was actually going to do that until they released every Junkion I could have possibly wanted, so now I don't got to do that. Right. Up next, this is an exciting one. Kang Toys released drawings of their Predacon Optimus Primal, for lack of a better term for him, but he's the ape. And he turns into a robot that has an Optimus Prime style head. And man, he looks awesome. Awesome.
Pants. Monkey pants.
So we'll have to see those how they turn out. I'm putting a couple digibatches into the chat.
Ooh,
so there was 2 of them. One of them, so that first one is a straight up Optimus Primal color scheme, and I was kind of wondering how they would do this because I'm like, man, he was like red, white, black, and blue, but the only blue really was in the head. And I'm like, they could still do him in Optimus Primal colors, but still have him fit with the Predacon color scheme, because the rest of the Predacons were like yellow, orange, reds, and blacks, but minus the head, in which in combined mode would be hidden anyway. He would just be red, black, and white, and that would work as the waist and the hip section of Predaking, while the rest of the guys were all in like orange and all that shit. Like that would still work. So I'm kind of curious as to how how they're going to color this dude. But there he is in the regular Optimus Primal colors, and then here he is in a more like Predacon color scheme. So, and I know that they're just taking a guess at it, but
yeah,
I don't know. I like the original. I like the original Optimus Primal colors, and I think minus the blue head when he's transformed and you can't see the blue head, I think that color scheme will work, you know, in combined mode. Maybe it might look a little weird in robot mode because he's just going to have this random, the only like blue spot color on the entire team.
But he's gonna look like a Giants road jersey. The only blue is the helmet.
Everything's like either like a light orange or red on all the other figures.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't see why they would use. I don't know. I don't.
Well, they have a little bit of yellow. They have a little bit of yellow on them. On the other guys, they're just more bit. Predominantly red and orange. Like I feel like in that second one that I sent over, Jed, if like he has the red in there, I feel like if the yellow was orange on that Digibash, it would look a little more in line with what the rest of the Predacons are.
Yeah, I don't
supposed to look like.
See that yellow? I'm not. I don't think it's that. Do you think it's yellow, or do you think it's more of like a light orange yellow type?
I think he
mixed.
As nice of a job as he did, I think he used he used like a lemon yellow there, and I don't feel like the rest of the Predacons have lemon yellow. I think it's more like a sun yellow maybe, or tangerine. Not even right. Like that yellow with like that slightest little bit of magenta mixed in, you know?
Yeah. So this should like basically turn into his waist, right? His monkey pants, right?
Yeah. Now, colors aside, the mold itself, I love it. That's
surprising.
Nah, I really do. I think it's cool, man. I think they were starting to worry me a little bit because I'm gonna be honest, with Rampage and Tantrum, I felt like they stayed not in line with the original Predacons, but they were at least they weren't so far off the beaten path that like they were unrecognizable. Where I think with Dive Bomb, as awesome as Dive Bomb is, he got off the beaten path a little bit more. And I feel like the Rampage, I'm gonna have to see the Rampage in like actual prototype form, but the drawing or render that we saw, not Rampage, Razor Claw, I feel like the drawing that we saw of him was, man, it was really, I don't know, it was almost too Zoids-ish for my taste. Where this one's awesome and it's stylized, but it still cleans up really nicely and it's proportioned really nicely and it just looks awesome. Like it looks like a tank.
So there's like a lot of different variations of Predaking's waist, right? So the G1 is yellow, and then the figures that came out is more like latest stuff is more like black, right?
Yep. Yeah.
There's a little bit yellow in it. So hear me out on this one. Okay. What if they take the first image here, like it's like a like an Optimus Primal type of look, but they make it more like a Nemesis, where it's like the colors are reversed, it's more black, and then you have the orange in as this offset color, the complementary colors,
right?
And then that way, when it changes in its combined mode, it has more of the black with the the complementary orange.
I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. Because honestly, that second Digibash that guy did with the yellow in it, like you could see that happening with that. Like you could see the bottom. Like imagine his legs from the knees down would actually turn into the hips of Predaking. They would probably transform in a way where they would fold up onto where the yellow is and hide that yellow in his thighs, and the yellow in his elbows or biceps would probably be hidden by whatever transformation he had to do to form like the rest of the lower torso.
Right.
If in fact that's how it works out, like I could definitely see a lot of that yellow being hidden by the transformation, including the head. Right. But I could totally see that, man. Yeah.
What do you think, Josh? You're all in on the Kang's toys.
I don't like the Optimus Primal thing. Get that out of your head right away. This is not Beast Wars. This is Predacons. This is G1.
Well,
I like
not really.
the second Digibash. It just reminds me too much of Razor Claw, his color scheme. And I'm still not 100% sold on having a 6th member of the Predacons. I'm sorry.
I think you're being slavish right now a little bit.
I am. I will fully admit I'm being slavish, and
But just by buying this team would tell me that you're open-minded to stylization because this is as stylized as it's going to get.
I am very open-minded, and I will, in fact, get this. But I'm going to reserve loving or hating it till end hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? Another point here is I'll probably argue is that I don't think you can get Optimus Primal thing out of your head because they specifically gave this thing an Optimus Prime head on purpose. Like it's absolutely Optimus Primal, whether or not they color it like the first one or the second one or something else altogether. Like it's absolutely a nod to Optimus Primal.
Yeah, maybe it's a Nemesis Primal.
Yeah, that's what I like that idea. I like a Nemesis Primal. I like that idea because he's part of a bad guy crew, supposedly. So maybe he's like the Nemesis Primal.
I would accept any of the above that was mentioned during this conversation. To be honest with you,
I mean they could do away with the blue then. They could make his helmet black, right?
Yes.
Worry about that at all.
I will say that Jed was right earlier when he said that the Gorilla mode looks very much like Grodd.
Yeah, he does.
I cannot unsee it now. Thanks. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Now you don't have Optimus Primal anymore in there. Now you have Grodd. See?
Yeah.
What was the name of the company that did I don't know if they did the final thing for it or not, but they did a similar type of metallic like robot gorilla
Generation Toy Gorilla.
Yeah. What was that?
That was the T-Beast.
T-Beast.
Yeah, it was that
T-Beast
art book that I love.
It wasn't based on any specific character. It was just based on that concept design, right?
Was that actually Jeb or Josh? Was that actually part of the T-Beast thing? Because I feel like the T-Beast thing was like total different shit, like where you had G1 characters that turned into beasts, where this was obviously just based on Optimus Primal as a more like a G1 type of animal rather than an actual gorilla, like a organic gorilla.
If I remember correctly, this was the Generation Toy Gorilla was based off of the T-Beast Optimus Prime, which in fact looked like Optimus Primal.
Okay. But
they had Jazz as a horse, Sideswipe as a bull, Bumblebee as a tiger.
Right.
Soundwave was an owl.
Rodimus was a lion or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Because DX9 did that one figure of it.
Yeah.
And the thing that really sucks is, it's a great line. I have the Generation Toy Gorilla, Sideswipe, the Bumblebee from Transform Elephant, and that TT Hong Lee Red Falcon. I have that.
Oh, yeah.
And they haven't really announced anything else for it, and it's kind of a bummer because there's so many great ideas in that art book that could be just phenomenal figures, like Jazz as a horse.
Yeah, maybe sales told all them guys that it was a cool concept to do like a couple here and there, kind of like they did the Bumblebee Heart of Darkness, but never really did a whole hell of a lot with any of the. They might have did a couple of the trains and shit like that, but maybe they went into it doing it, and they probably saw that it was going to lose momentum as the more they went into it because there just wasn't enough of a want for them. Possibly, I don't know. I'm just taking a guess.
Yeah.
Moving right along, the next link I have is once again X-Transbots, and this time they're revealing their double spy, Punch and Counterpunch, MX 26B Bond and 26A James, and they're doing.
Sorry for laughing. This is a great name.
They're doing a Japanese version. Oh no, the 26B is the Japanese version, and the 26A is the American version. And the American version and the Japanese versions have different chest decos, different shoulder decos, and different faces. But they got me roped in for both of them because
Of course they do.
Well, yeah, you know what? I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I just ordered the American one because I have more of a connection to that one because that was the one that was in the cartoon, the what do you call it? That season 4. But then I'm like, man, I should have one to display in Autobot mode on the Autobot shelf and then Decepticon mode in the Decepticon shelf. So that's what I ended up getting the Japanese one for the Decepticon shelf and the American one for the Autobot shelf. But this character it was a long time coming, man. I knew as soon as they had revealed this shit, man, people would go crazy. People would go crazy. This is, it was kind of like Double Dealer. It's weird. It's not one of your, Starscreams or Optimus or Megatron or Soundwave or one of those like big time characters. But I just feel like a lot of the reveals that X-Transbots put out this week were characters that like we've been wanting to scratch that itch for a long time, and they're actually giving them to us, which is cool. And this one is definitely on that list.
I really, really, really like the card mode.
Yeah, it is pretty nice.
Man, especially the wheels. Sorry, again, not my wheelhouse, but you guys are gonna
intended,
you guys
right?
gonna turn me into a transfer. Yeah. You guys are gonna turn me into a freaking transfer, collector soon enough, right?
Right.
Going to the poorhouse a lot quicker than it already has been.
Speaking of cars, X-Transbots with another reveal. This time it is their battle chargers. Runabout, which is the black one. Runamuck is the white one, and these are called. This is MX-28 Fast and MX-29 Fury. And this is another one that, man, I can't believe they didn't get done a little sooner than right now. But these look awesome, and they look great in robot mode. Although a lot of people will think that they're a little bit too skinny, but I don't know. I don't display any of my bots from the side, so.
How dare you?
They have like the working doors and working hoods, which is cool. And another thing that I think is really cool is that even though they have basically identical robot modes, just like in G1, they have different alt modes, which is nice, where they could have easily just did this as a repaint, but they went the extra mile and they did the different alt modes. So that's a pretty solid move by X-Transbots. Anybody care about these but me?
Oh, I do. I'm down for
I care.
I'm down for punch counter punch. I pre-ordered the US version because I got more of a connection to the US version, the Japanese version, and I got Fast and Fury. They're run amok and runabout, and I think they look great. I mean, I think that if X-Transbot nails punch counter punch, it will skyrocket them to probably the best third-party company out there right now because it's a game changer.
Well, it was something I was probably going to bring up at the end of Toy News because they have so many reveals and shit like that. But since you just brought it up, we can talk about it for half a second. Did you foresee this a couple of years ago that it was the MP game was basically going to come down to like it's Fans Toys and X-Transbots? And I mean, Fans Hobby is doing their thing, but they're kind of driving in their own lane. So they got nobody messing with them and they're not really messing with anybody. But like XTB and Fans Toys are swinging them haymakers right in the main part of G1.
I mean, this is what it is right now. It is X-Transbots and Fans Toys. Yeah. And in my opinion, X-Transbots is blowing Fans Toys out of the water with just these two, with their punch counter punch runabout reveals, because these are fig characters people have wanted for years and we're finally getting them.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's like that lost figure. It's like looking for Gambit in your X-Men collection. It's like looking for Green Lantern in your Justice League collection. It's there. Someone's going to do it eventually, but now it's just a waiting game.
Yeah, the Fans Toys, their last bunch of reveals, if I remember correctly, it's all kind of like, for as good as they look, they're replacement bots.
Exactly.
Puffer and
Cliff Jumper,
Jazz, Mirage, Cliff Jumper. Now, don't get me wrong, Cliff Jumper, I guess, is a little bit of a different story because nobody's really done an awesome Cliff Jumper. But still, that being said, still a replacement bot. Like, I like that X-Transbots is throwing some characters out there that we don't have yet.
Do you think that, I was going to say, I have two questions. Do you think that KFC will do any more
releases, or do you think they're gonna kill that line?
No, they had that that Power Master Optimus Prime / Jinrai Super Jinrai that's on the way out.
Oh, okay.
And all the Junkions are KFC.
Well, I've been after the Junkions were over,
and they have I know I talked to the dude that does graphic design for them a little bit, and he said that they're reworking their Darkwing and Dreadwinds, which is also going to end up being a Buster and Hydra as well. So they got those coming out. Past that, I'm not sure. I know there's an Ultra Magnus in the pipeline. I don't know if that's going to be an X-Transbots thing or a KFC thing, but I know that's coming down the road. But yeah, KFC kind of slowed down a little bit, but they're still kind of doing stuff. Oh, and they got the Ramhorn and Steeljaw. That's KFC stuff. So, and by the way, shout out to that dude, Mike Lorber. He's actually doing a bunch of G1 style boxes for MPs, and I worked with him just a tiny little bit, and he's using the for the season 1 stuff. He's actually using my artwork on the back of the box, so that's kind of cool. So they're going to be around and out there for anybody that wants to buy MPs or third party stuff and take them out of their boxes and put them back in another box. It sounds ridiculous, but when you see them there, it's like, wow, that's kind of cool, man. They're cool. But anyway,
I just wondered why they want to keep, if they would want to keep it split up or not, or if they would just kind of like go mostly X-Transbots for everything. This is basically the same people,
it is basically the same thing. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure why they have them under different banners, but whatever works. I don't know.
So my second question is, do you think this is like a distraction? Do you think they're throwing down all these releases for like a reason to distract people from anything else maybe that's going on?
Like what?
I don't know. Like Springer Cup, delays, like the Protectobots. Like there's a lot of stuff they threw out there.
Well, they just put another Protectobot up for.
Or I was gonna say, do you think it's more of a marketing strategy to beat out fans? I think
it's answer number C, and I'll tell you why in a second. But as far as your first point, I don't think they're trying to distract anybody from anything, because they did put another Protectobot up for pre-order this week. Jockend or whatever his name is, the Groove. He went up for pre-order, and then they actually did say that lock is in production right now, the replacement locks. I just saw that on their page either yesterday or today. So there's that. But what I think it is, and I can't remember where I heard this, but it is an interesting point for Fans Toys and for X-Transbots / KFC. There haven't been cons for 2 years at this point, TF cons. And, we're accustomed to getting some reveals at TF cons, the Canada one and the 2 American ones. And we haven't had any of those since, 2019 at this point. So think about how many new things we would have been seeing at those cons. I guess we're kind of just getting them now, that's what I think.
Right.
I mean, okay. I'm sure there's some sort of marketing thing behind it. I'm not a robot dealer, so I don't know all the ins and outs of why you would do one thing versus another, but I feel like that might be part of it. We haven't had any shows, so they're just trying to drum up some interest, and It's working, quite honestly. Jed, I got something for you. This next piece of toy news. This is, I'm putting the link in the chat right now. This is another Springer that's going to come out before Virtus. So this is Robot Hero RH-02 Airwolf, and this is basically, from what I understand, the open and play Springer with a better paint job and a better head sculpt, and very cheap. I think I saw them on pre-order for like $85 or some shit, or 90. It was definitely less than 100 if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Wait, let me put it on.
A lot of people swear by this Springer. They say it's probably the best Springer that's out there on playability and
$84.99. It says 80 for that. That is as cheap as it. Okay, so well, I think it's a pretty good looking Springer, and I don't know. I never held one in hand or whatever, but the cynical part of me says, yeah, people are saying this is their best Springer because it's like, oh fuck it, it's $85. I can actually like buy a third-party bot without having to eat ramen noodles this week. So I'm just going to say this is the best one because it's the one I don't have to pay $200 for.
There's like, like you have the things that you purchase that you put on a shelf and it looks great.
Yeah.
And then there's the things that you get that you want to mess around with all the time.
Yeah.
And they say that this is like the second one. It's more like you can mess around with it. It's like designed well. It's easy to transform. That type of thing.
I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I saw a lot of people saying that about Alan too, the Unique Toys Alan. Like it ain't the best looking Springer on the market, but it was really fun to mess around with. And there's something to that too.
Mm-hmm.
There is something to that too. What did they say? This is going to be November 2021. Are we taking any bets? Like this versus Vernon?
20 on this coming out first.
20 on, yeah. But we have to do like how like on a team will get a point spread. We should give like a day spread. Like we'll take Airwolf plus 14 and a half days or whatever. So if Virtus comes out 13 days later, Virtus would technically win on the handicap.
I don't think Virtus is coming out this year. I think it'll come out next year.
Really? Yeah. I keep noticing in my Chosen Prime pre-orders, man. I keep seeing, it was May, and then it was July 2021, and now it's August 2021, and that shit ain't happening.
Nope. It'll be 5 years next year that I'll have it pre-ordered. 5 years. Jeez. That's a long time.
5 years.
Yeah. Maybe it'll come out next. Maybe they'll do the 5-year anniversary release.
So that's
they have lock yet, right? They have to push their lock out, right?
Yeah, push the lock out, yeah.
Re-release of lock.
I'm surprised they're not really. I'm surprised I guess they're just in a hurry to get that shit out because they just want to put that behind them,
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And I go on their page or whatever, and it's like, listen, I shit on lock too, just like everybody else did, but like people are still like all up in arms, and it's like, listen, what the fuck do you want this company to do besides replace it? Like, yeah, so the first one sucked. So now we had this shitty cup for a couple months or whatever, but like they promised us they're going to get us another one. Now they're making the other one, and hopefully it'll come out and it'll be great and everybody can shut the fuck up, but like at least give them the like, benefit of the doubt. Like they're trying to make right on, sometimes these companies put out a piece of shit, and like last time, like with Wheelie, they didn't put out the piece of shit Wheelie and be like, hey, we're going to make you a new Wheelie since the last one sucked. They put the fucking new Wheelie out and you had to spend another $65 to buy that one and try to find somebody else to sell your first piece of shit to. Like this thing was a piece of shit, but in good faith, they were like, hey, we're going to get y'all a new one. And then that'll be that. So like, how about let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and hopefully it doesn't suck. If it sucks, we'll crush them. Obviously, rightfully so, but maybe it'll be good, and then fucking no harm, no foul.
It was really funny. I watched Bobby's review of this, and he didn't have a lot of bad things to say about it.
No.
And then I watched like your review. You're like, oh my god, this thing broke, and it's just a mess. And it was kind of funny how he didn't really dig into it that much at all. He actually did break it, but he was transforming it too.
He broke it on the first part of the transformation.
Right.
I mean, he was fair. I think he was fair with it, but like he wasn't as like at the end, he wasn't as against it as I thought he was going to be. He was just like, unfortunately, I can't really give this a recommendation where I thought that was going to turn into, did you ever see his, and if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth watching his TFC Hound review.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember that.
I'm, his reviews are, I like him because I think he's usually pretty fair or whatever, but like entertainment wise, that is probably my favorite Skullface review of all time. Not only because he ends up hitting it with a shovel and kicking the shit out of it at the end, but like the scene between him and Mick, where Mick is like the bad guy and sends the CD or the DVD or whatever with like the threatening message and all that shit. Like that's probably the best review he ever did, even though it was for such a terrible figure. But all that being said, that's where I thought that was going to go. So maybe Bobby's kind of like calming down with age a little bit,
Ooh.
I guess it happens. It's not a bad thing. Just, I calm down with age a little bit. I don't fight with as many people on the internet as I used to. That was all I have for toy news, thankfully.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
I do have a couple things. They use the ability to use the chat here, but thanks to toynewside.com, they apparently it's been, I guess, a couple things have been actually it's leaked regarding NECA and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I posted a link on there for the post, and I guess I don't know if you guys remember in the early '90s when they did a mashup of like Playmates did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mixed up with like the Universal monsters, like as the Mummy and all that stuff.
Totally remember
Apparently,
those.
apparently there's listings that leaked regarding a mashup of the Ninja Turtles and Universal monsters, which makes sense considering NECA now has the license to do both. That's something I've seen so far. They only listed, I think, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael. There's no listing for Donatello as of yet. So that'd be interesting to see where they go with that. Seems like they're now getting away from the card, because all you see when it comes to NECA, basically their specialty with Ninja Turtles has been cartoon, movie, and then video game now / they're kind of moving away from that video game stuff. And there's rumors that it's gonna go more Mirage comic stuff. So, which is great because I missed out on the original Mirage Turtles from NECA from 2008, 2009, which goes for hundreds of dollars a piece. So,
wow,
that's gonna be interesting. And apparently, the leaked DCPIs are for Target, so they may also be Target exclusives, which is something different considering basically all the animated stuff has been Target exclusive. So that's that's as far as they know when it comes to that. What do you guys think of the Marvel reveals of the Fantastic Four, like the retro wave?
I thought they look okay for what they are, but ever since Mezco came out with that Fantastic Four pack, with all the extra accessories and stuff like that just destroys everything I think that the Legends were trying to be. So comparing those two, which you can't really compare them, but I mean, in my head, I compare it because I looked at it, I'm like, oh, there's Reavers with a lab coat, Joy, yay, I didn't really dig it. I was down with the whole X-Force reveal. They showed Richter and Domino and Cannonball.
I had to fight the urge to get that, man. I had to fight the urge to get that.
And I was gonna get it, but it's a Hasbro Pulse Premium member purchase.
Oh.
And I'm not a Pulse Premium member person.
I'm surprised you're not getting a High Evolutionary.
Yeah, I don't know. Just wasn't down. There's a lot of the bad guys that I didn't get at all. I think the only one I got out of that whole thing was Ultron, and that was it.
I hope the High Evolutionary eventually shows up in the MCU. That way I could put him in the Marvel Cinematic Duperverse as the High Evolutionary.
The great play on words, Mike.
I knew where that was going.
Put him in the same boat with Mary Jane and Johnny Blaze. Where the work is already 3/4 of the way done for me.
But hey guys, Josh and I were talking about it earlier, by the way, before I forget. Mattel Creations, this is all wrestling related here. They did their first crowdfunding item called the Ultimate Edition New Generation Arena. It's based on the old early to mid 90s WWE entrance and ring that came with the Diesel that was offered for $250. The target was 5,000. It passed the 5,000 this afternoon because there was an early bird bonus added that today it was going to expire today, which included a set of table and 2 chairs and monitors and all that stuff, like a announcing table type setup with the Macho Man based on the WrestleMania 10 Macho Man Ultimate Edition as well. Also has stretch goals, which was at 7,000 backers. It will reach. It will unlock Dwayne the Clown. an Ultimate Edition Doink the Clown, which was evil Doink as well, because you could tell by the faces that it comes with, alternate faces that they show, plus the mallet only the evil version of Doink carried. And ultimately, at 8,000 backers, you will have alternate ring skirts, because he will come with a generic, World Wrestling Entertainment, obviously can use the F design that they used to have mostly for house shows and superstars and wrestling challenge and all that stuff. And the alternate ring skirts will be WrestleMania and In Your House, because that was around the era where the In Your House pay-per-views started popping up in between like the big four pay-per-views, which is SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble. And also King of the Ring at one point. So as of right now, it reached over 8,029 backers with 8 days to go. That week ago, it was at 30%. Right now, it's over. It reached all the stretch goals, which is insane, because this is actually something that's it's a gateway for a lot of stuff. Like when it comes to play sets and stuff, when it comes to pro wrestling, future photographers are gonna freaking go nuts over this. So it's this opens up the way for a barbershop, other places like the barbershop window, or Piper's Pit or the Snake Pit, any of those sets, or Nitro, old school ECW Arena, old school Rose War. This is gonna be, I'm hoping this actually, now that they're seeing this, that there's a market for this. So I mean, shit, I backed it, and I have no room for it. I have no idea where it's gonna go, but I'm happy, everything unlocked, and I'm just hopefully within the next year or so I get to finally see it in person, because the ring is amazing. It looks like that's close to a real ring as you're ever gonna see in like that scale. Like it's gonna have die-cast posts. The turnbuckles are gonna be put on those, just like how real turnbuckles get put on in real rings. You lift the mat area there underneath. It has like almost replicates the wood planks of an actual ring. So it's little details that they added to this ring. Just the ring alone, it's what made it for me. Then you had the the light up entrance, which is it's mostly known for the new generation, but it's something that's debuted at WrestleMania 8, which was like one of Hogan's last WrestleManias before he went to WCW. So still kind of the end of that golden era that a lot of people remember. I know you guys probably remember. So I think it's pretty neat. And I know you guys have. Do you guys back up the HasLab? What's the newest HasLab that's out there now?
Galactus? Yeah, I just went in today.
Yep.
Today?
for two.
Galactus? Oh man. So what's two Galactuses? A Galacti?
Galacti, yeah, Galacti, yeah. Right. I also I got to tell you this too, so Jake could laugh at me, but I also I went in on that Optimus Prime.
Did you buy that Prime?
Self-transforming one?
I did.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
After talking about how you didn't like it.
Well, I think when we had that conversation, you were saying more like here's a series of Transformers that was going to do this, but I'll look at that as the same way I look at like one or two other pieces in my collection where it's just like a standalone piece, like I got that 12-inch Wolverine in there. That's just kind of a standalone. Like this Optimus Prime will be cool as just like a standalone piece, but that's where it ends. Like I saw that Scrapper that's been the Robosin Scrapper that's been going around. Mm-hmm. They start making other ones. It's like, nah, this is one is enough. I get the Chuck Father, and that's where I cut off. But worst goes to worst. I just, even if I don't end up keeping it, I'll probably be able to sell it and make a couple bucks. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to getting it and having it, because I thought it just transformed, and then I saw that. I think you sent me the video, Jed, or you might have put it in the chat, but it was that chick that was talking to him and had him doing all kinds of crazy shit. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome, man. Yeah,
you can make him do dabs and everything.
Yeah.
Was that Optimus Prime? What self-transforming Optimus Prime, was that crowdfunded as well, or is it something that you?
No, that was just a really expensive pre-order.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cool part about it is that, from what I understand, is that you'd be able to program whatever you want it to move and do eventually.
Yeah. Yes. Because you'll get an app there's going to be an app on the phone and shit like that that'll be able to control it.
Right, and I'm sure they'll be updating that, monthly or whatever with new things that it can do too.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
if I
cool.
made the same kind of bank Mike does, I will probably get one.
Like $750, man.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Working,
Yeah,
you know what,
Dude.
I was like trying to talk myself out of it, and I'm like, you know what, I played 3 gigs last weekend, and I'm playing another one this weekend, and I'm working some overtime this week, so I'm like, you know what, man, I YOLO'd myself right into it.
So you talk yourself into it the same way I talk myself into Mitchell Ness Authentic, basically. Yeah, that's that. I feel your pain, Mike.
I backed Galactus.
Yeah,
It came out
my
weeks ago when it came
man.
out. First day it was announced. I was in there.
I'm hoping, Jed, that we see what we saw with the Unicron. Like, it's getting closer and it's getting closer. And then I remember when the Unicron, when it finally broke through the line, like it just fucking rolled, you know? And I'm hoping the same thing happens with Galactus, because as it's going right now, it's kind of pacing itself to just barely make it. But I wanted to hit some stretch goals, man. And I'm hoping we can get to them.
Yeah. Maybe they'll just fudge the numbers and do it anyway.
I'm
Yeah,
kinda
right, yeah.
surprised- I'm kind of surprised that Galactus hasn't been completely funded yet, because that's a really big, important character. The Sentinel, that thing cleared in like, what, 3 weeks?
Sentinels, people are buying 5 of them. Or 3 of them at least.
Yeah, people are, yeah, definitely. Like that was more, well, you know, the thing is, it was only $50 cheaper. And there and you do only technically need one Galactus, you know, so it's like, it surprises me that, I don't know. I guess I'm as we speak, I'm checking to see where it's at right now. It's at 11,646. So it's got exactly 17 days, almost to the minute, to get 3,354 more, which I think it can do, but I'm hoping that it blows right past that.
And they announced that the Sentinel
Anybody try to
start shipping next month.
Okay.
Yes, I'm excited.
Has that the Galactus shown up anywhere outside of HasLab, like, you know, pre-ordering to like BBTS or anything else yet?
That's a good question.
I haven't seen it.
I'm going
that's another, that would be another bump if that's actually the case. Then it's usually places like BBTS and Doorside Toys and Entertainment Earth usually throw the money at it as well, and that's usually where the bumps come in when it comes to the HasLab.
That's a good point, because a lot of like overseas people couldn't get the Unicron, so I think a lot of people had to get them through, you know, TF Source and Big Bad Toy Store and you know, Chosen Prime and a couple other places. Was the Sentinel on
BBTS?
Yeah. No,
not that I remember.
No?
That's
I don't think
interesting.
so. I don't think they're not as big as Unicron. So I think the shipping thing is, you know, it's a lot smaller.
Yeah. That's a valid point.
Because you got to remember, Unicron it's a sphere, so it's as tall as it is wide, right? Whereas this, you can make thinner boxes and they just lay down flat, you know, for Sentinels and Galactuses.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
Shipping is a big issue. So I don't think like those third-party companies really come into it too much, unless they plan to buy 100 of them and then sell them aftermarket.
I just hope it goes crazy, because I like at this point in the Sentinel campaign, we were already like, all right, what's the 4th, you know, stretch goal going to be?
Yeah.
You know, so
you got, because that thing got back really quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, but they only needed 6,000. This number's a lot higher. This number is 14. I think the Sentinel was 6.
More than double.
I don't know about that. I might have to double check that, because I thought that was higher than I thought it was 8.
Nah, I'm looking at it right now. 6.
Oh, are you? Okay.
The goal was 6,000, and it got 21,890 backers.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think there's a lot more X-Men fans than there are Fantastic Four fans.
Oh, I'll agree.
True.
Yeah, I'll absolutely agree there. I think that fact combined with the, you know, troop building aspect of it is also,
that as well,
like you said, is also a factor.
That and the amount of backers as well, like you said, like this is a higher amount to start, you know, to get the funding to begin with, compared to like compared to the Sentinel. Plus, like you said, troop building. There's a lot of factors that differentiate the Sentinel versus Galactus, and I wanted to get back, even though I'm not gonna back it because I'm outside of the Fantastic Four. I'm not, that's not something. A, I don't have the space, and B, it's just, it's not something that I'm really, really like connected to, and but I still want to, I still want it to get funded. I still want people that, especially if you guys backed it, I want to see it in hand. You know what I mean? It's something cool to see. So again, because of the Sentinel and all these other crowdfunding ideas from Hasbro and even now Mattel, I think the gateway has been open for certain items that you will not see in retail. You know what I mean? These are playsets and items that you will never see in a Target or a Walmart. And it opens up like a gateway for a lot of items that we always wanted that couldn't go through that way. You know what I mean? Maybe we can even become an online exclusive, but even then, it'll be really expensive to be paid in the first place. In order for them to guarantee to have it, this is a good source for it. I mean, I think wasn't every Hasbro item being backed with the exception of that Cookie Monster?
Yeah. Yep. Everyone except for that one.
Yep. You know, we need Lewis. We need NECA to jump in the game and do like a turtle van or do the layer, the sewer.
Turtle van, layer, DeLorean.
Technodrome.
The Terradrome.
Technodrome. Yes.
That'd be the shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Speaking of HasLab, I wonder when they're going to do this victory reveal.
Think it's be Star Saber or.
Let me ask you this, and I can't remember, but Victory were the train bots in Victory at all?
I thought so.
I know they were in Headmasters, but I can't remember if they were in, because I'm thinking, man, I wonder if the fucking crowdfunding thing could possibly be this Raiden that they've been talking about. But I'm gonna go look at the characters real quick.
I keep confusing Victory with Master Force.
Master Force was like Overlord and that Jinrai and the Power Master Juniors and like Piranacon and the Pretenders. Victory was the Breast Masters and the Brain Masters.
I don't think I ever saw Victory. Or wait, was that the one where Optimus Prime was a fire engine?
No, that's Armada or Cybertron or whatever one.
That's RID 2001.
Okay. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, I don't know Victory.
Here we go. List of Victory characters. Brain Masters, the Multiforce, Micromasters. No, there was So I'm gonna quick read you off the characters real quick so the Brain Masters was Star Saber, the 3 Autobots that turned into Road Caesar, Multiforce, which was like a Micromaster combiner, kinda. Not Micromasters, but they were like 3 teams of 2 little vehicles that combine with each other, and then they combine to make a little combiner. And then you had some Micromasters. You had Great Shot, who was the Autobot 6-shot. And then Victory Leo, of course, and the Galaxy Shuttle, which was the shuttle that turned into a robot. And on the Decepticons, you had the Breast Force, which was Leo Kaiser, or Lyle Kaiser. Dino Force, which was the Dino King combiner. And Black Shadow and Blue Bacchus, which was the 2 pretender, like mega pretenders. So, man, if it's a Leo Kaiser, I'll go ape shit. But I don't know. People are kind of leaning towards thinking it's going to be a Victory Saber, but
it's got to be Star Saber. I mean, it's the most well-known character out of the series.
Yeah, but I mean, like they did an MP Star Saber, and that was, was it $200 or $150 or whatever? Like, what's going to warrant crowdfunding? Like nothing less than $300, right?
This is true too.
So and I guess I could see if they did Victory Saber, but like, are they going to do it as an MP, or are they going to do it as more like something that goes in line with Chug? And if it's Chug, how the hell are they going to charge $300 for it, unless it's kind of like a smaller masterpiece quality? So maybe it's
the combiner. Maybe it's like the 3. What'd you call it? The Road Force?
The Road Caesar.
Caesar, yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm curious, very curious about that. I can't wait to see what the reveal is.
Was there anything like big that was in that series? Like
Well,
Like
you
any
had
story?
Deathsaurus. Deathsaurus was the leader of the Decepticons, and he was that big like chicken dragon. But I don't see that being a $250, $300 piece.
Wait, speaking of Hasbro polls, right now, Galactus is sitting at 11,646 backers out of 14,000.
Yeah.
It's about 2,354 backers away from actually hitting the goal.
You just pulled a levy right there, Louis. You must have fell asleep when I said that 10 minutes ago.
Yes, I did. Sorry, my bad.
So it's got to be either Victory Saber, Road Caesar, Leo Kaiser, or Dino King. Like those are the only 4 things I could think of that it could possibly be that would warrant crowdfunding.
Do you have those Japanese toys?
What's that, Jed?
Did you just try to call me Levy?
I almost did.
Yes, you did. You totally did. I heard it.
What the hell? I said, do you have any of the Japanese toys of that line?
You mean in MP style or G1?
The G1 stuff.
I have all that. I have all that shit, tough guy. I got Dino King. I got Dino King individually. I got Leo Kaiser in the gift set. I got Road Caesar in the gift set, and I got Victory Leo and Star Saber like separately.
Cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I would like to see
which one of those would you really like? What would be your top out of all the names we mentioned?
Out of all those names I mentioned, well, okay, so I already have my Victory Leo, and I already know that X Transbot's got a Deathsaurus, a G1 MP scale Deathsaurus in the pipeline somewhere. So I would like to see a Dino King or a Leo Kaiser done in a scale that would fit, my collection.
Nice.
Selfishly,
awesome,
you know what I
dude.
mean? I'll be cool with whatever. I mean, if they do some chug shit, and people go crazy over it, hey, that's great. You know what I mean? The MP collectors have been spoiled, so I'm not going to be upset over it if it's not something that I actually want, but I'm definitely psyched to see what it is.
It's a HasLab project, right?
Yeah.
So I would think it'd be something big,
And it's got to be something chug scale because Unicron was, chug-ish.
Well, Unicron's no scale.
Right.
But I get what you're saying, but I think
mainline, I should say, not chug. Mainline.
Yeah, but I don't know. They only ever did one Transformer crowdfunding thing, so I can't label that as a pattern yet. Like,
it has to be something that you won't see in the store. You know what I mean? Something that might be too big to get retail space, so to speak.
Right.
So it has to be something around those lines. The Unicron is what? It's that box alone probably. How big was that box for Unicron altogether?
It was pretty goddamn big, man. It was probably a 30 by 30 inch cube, 30 by 30 by 30.
Yeah.
Maybe even bigger.
So you gotta look at that scale. Maybe it won't be as big as that, but it'll be something along the lines that it will take. It won't take too much shelf space somewhere retail wise. It will warrant this.
That thing is 27 inches tall. An MP scale combiner, if you go by like the Zeta, Toy World scale, is still 21, 22 inches tall. So it's still smaller than that, even if you're going MP scale. So I don't know. I'm as curious as the next fan to see what that ends up being.
So when is that going to be revealed?
Oh, no clue. No, it
hasn't made any hints of any sort yet at all.
Nah, I haven't seen. All I saw was that it's coming, and that's it.
Okay, so it's all speculation from there.
Two things haven't happened yet. That reveal hasn't been made, and the AMC shorts have not covered. Anyway.
What do you think will happen first? AMC shorts covering or
Virtus? Jed, I'll be living in my mansion speaking with a British accent, and I'll call you up. Oh, Jed, has your Virtus been released yet?
No.
Is it ruddy glorious?
No.
No. hey Ragnar. Hey Ragnar, put your dad on the phone. Okay, hang on. Hey Dad. Hey Mom, tell Dad that Mike's on the phone. Jared.
My third son that has not even been conceived yet, let alone born to be raised to talk, will
He'll be old enough to talk. Yeah,
will be done before Virtus.
Wait a minute. What's going to happen first? Wait.
Daddy. Go ahead, Lewis.
I was going to say, what's going to happen first? Are we going to finally be out of this pandemic altogether, or Brutus is going to be?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Daddy, tell me about the stories when you pre-ordered Virtus. Back when the world was right.
You know, the funny thing is, by the time it's finally released, it's kind of like a sports contract when you overpay for a player. Like, but then years down the line, you're like, you know what? That's a fucking steal. Like, we'll be at that part where we're paying fucking, $400 for a leader class masterpiece, and we'll have pre-ordered Virtus for $200, and I'll be like, damn, only $200. That's a fucking steal.
Or it could be like the Mets Bobby Bonilla contract. You know what I mean? It'd be one of those like, damn, I waited all this time for this. Be either or, man.
Yeah.
So Jed, I just looked at the Blackout and Shout page to see if there was any questions, that I didn't see any on the page, but I can only see a couple of the shares. I don't know if there's any that are outstanding.
There's one.
There's one. Okay, good, because it's 12:30 and I want to go home.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah.
And I am home.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So Q&A, one question from Phil Stanek. He asks, actually a quite good question. What's a childhood nostalgic property that hasn't been brought back yet that you wish someone would do a more updated modern take on in either written or screen form? Example, mine is Dino Riders.
But fucking choice.
Yeah, Dino Riders is, Phil's a big dinosaur fan altogether, so that makes sense. And there's also Dinosaurs as well. Man, my pick might actually be Dinosaurs, but it's weird because I can't really say anything with a clean conscience, because everything that I could possibly want is out already. And even like Turtles, which I haven't started collecting yet, there's choices for Turtles out there. So, and they just did Silverhawk, like they Super 7 did Silverhawks. I guess nobody's done an updated Mask.
Yes, that was my pick right there.
That's actually surprising. I guess I would probably put my money on Mask. Mask is like that one that's in the vein of, in that what would be a Transformers universe, G.I. Joe, you can see in the Transformers universe, I guess, with the rest of them. And but yeah, there hasn't been and they could probably do some badass shit, man. Like
that's gotta be 3 3/4 inch scale though. You can't do that 6 inch.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the 3 3/4 inch would probably be because it was more about the vehicles. It wasn't really
exactly
about the characters were okay, but it was definitely about the vehicles. I agree with you. 3 3/4. 3 3/4 inch would still make them pretty fucking big. Because think about the Matt Tracker, his truck. I can't remember the name of the truck, but
Rhino.
MP Optimus Prime as a truck is like big enough to for those little tiny Spike and Sparkplug to sit inside them, and those are tiny. So imagine scaling that up to 3 3/4 inch and then scaling up that Optimus Prime proportionately. That would be a big ass truck. So they would definitely, you're right.
Oh, weren't the original Mask 3 3/4 inch?
No, they were like 1.5, 2 inches.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Unless
more you scale to like.
Unless you really didn't give a shit about the characters enough and you like the vehicles enough to just say, fuck it, make them like an MP scale where the little characters, the driver pilots could be, little tiny ones like they give with the MPs, then you can kind of keep it in that scale. Because once it gets bigger than that, like, dude, like the 3 3/4 inch, that shit is definitely at least twice as tall as those little guys. Maybe even bigger than that. So you're, think about taking that MP44 and scaling that up 250, 300%. That's humongous. And then you got the helicopter and the fucking Hummer looking thing or whatever that one guy drove around and all that other shit, man. That shit we get. Think about how big Baroness G.I. Joe, or no, that's 6-inch. My bad. I take that back. But still,
Like the vintage collection Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, Star Wars
yeah.
vehicles like the X-wing TIE fighter. Those things are huge.
yeah, it's some fucking big shit, man. Some big shit. They might have to, even do their own scale and do it even a little smaller than 3 3/4. But all that, that's neither here nor there. The fact is, Mask hasn't been updated yet, and I feel like that's a good pick.
I just feel it's bad that Hasbro's been sitting on that property for over 25 years, man. Because I think wasn't that Kenner originally?
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I think Hasbro inherited the license. So Hasbro's been sitting on that for freaking decades, dude. And like I said, it's nothing been done since. It's all these other properties been brought back on the same era, and Mask hasn't even been touched. It's also the IDW comic they released a few years ago, but that hasn't. It's almost it's almost offensive, man. Like, come on, of all those properties, you're gonna bring back. I mean, what else can you bring back around that era that's near the same level as Mask? Hasn't been brought back yet.
Let's put it this way. I think Mask falls under the Nate and Mike rule of eat your vegetables and do your exercise, and you'll see all the toys you want to see during your lifetime. I think we will. I think we will absolutely see Mask at some point in the near future.
I hope so, because I think last time I was actually on here where I was talking about like a property that wasn't been made yet that you want to be made. And I said Back to the Future, 7-inch scale, and here we are, a couple years later, and I have 6 figures of Back to the Future from NECA. So hopefully, us speaking about Mask, we may make it into reality somehow.
There's a lot of stuff.
Any other ones?
There's a lot of stuff that you guys haven't even touched on that I could name like 5 at the very least off the top of my head that either in written or screen form. That means like a new cartoon or something like that.
Right.
Man, there's okay, so let's go. Inhumanoids, right?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Inhumanoids.
Okay.
Right? Jason Wheel Warriors, right?
Jason Wheel Warriors was in the back of my mind too, Jed. Yep.
Yeah. Visionaries.
Oh,
That was my pick.
nice.
Visionaries is a good one.
Starcom.
I think there's a
Remember
third.
Starcom?
There's a third-party company making visionary type figures out there.
I saw
No,
statues.
you're. I think you're thinking of
Centurions, and that's Ramen
Yeah.
Toy.
Is it Centurions? Okay.
That's
Okay.
another one. Centurions.
Yes, it
guys
is Centurions.
Do you guys remember Starcom?
No.
Yeah, I do, but I think you're getting a little fringe there.
Well, I am older than you guys. It was 80s. It was like a Space Force type of
Yeah.
thing, and they had all these different vehicles that they flew around. No, okay. What was the other thing I was thinking of?
Cops.
Cops,
Shit.
yes.
Fighting
You just
crime
pick
in the future time. That would be my second pick.
Yeah, Cops is a good one, man. I was thinking that one as well.
I mean, there's another obvious one that a lot of kids in the 90s grew up with.
Which is
Captain
what?
Planet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck, I can't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, Galaxy Rangers. You guys remember that one? Adventures of Galaxy Rangers.
yes.
Vaguely.
That one. As long as you don't bring back the new Adventures of He-Man, that's no.
There was one more. I can't remember. Fuck, now I had it in my hand, and then you guys like totally. Urgh.
Sorry, Jed.
Compromise from Mars.
There
okay.
you go.
Let me
That's
see.
a good one, Lewis.
Humans. You guys already said humans, Mask, that, Starcom.
What was the other anthropomorphic like animal team that Ninja Turtles kind of spawned off?
Street
Outside of
Sharks.
Compromise from Mars. Street Sharks. There you go.
That was
Storm
one.
Collectibles is doing Street Sharks.
Shut the hell up. They're not.
No,
They
sure
really
they are.
No.
Yeah, that was announced like a couple weeks ago.
I missed that announcement.
Same here.
Did you see that
Again,
Storm Collectibles King from Tekken 7?
I did. Yep, I did.
Holy shit. Thing is massive.
By the
Sorry,
way,
what-
Jed, one of the earliest memories I ever had when it comes to anime outside of Messenger Z was actually Gatchaman.
Oh yeah, Gatchaman was the shit.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
Battle of
sure,
the Planets
yeah.
or whatever.
I'm all in on Battle of the Planets figures from Storm, dude.
You said
Yeah.
Messenger Z. That's a good one. I mean, I remember him as Translator Z, but like his same character. But yeah, that's another good one, man. That was from the early 80s, like back during the Voltron days and shit.
There was a lot of Master Z stuff that came out after the A stuff. I know there was
even an animated. There's even an animated film that came out a few years ago, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. What year was that? Yeah, it was like about 5 years ago. I think it came out, something like that.
Yeah, 2016, I think it was.
Josh, did you see the chat?
What's that?
Josh.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
I see it. Son of a gun in the chat.
They just redid Star Blazers, Yamato, Battleship Yamato, a few years ago too, into like two new series. They're gonna do a third, so that would have been like one of my picks, but they already did that. Was it? That's it. Now I remember. Thundar the Barbarian. That's the other one I remember.
Oh, okay.
Thundar would be an awesome cartoon to have again.
Hanna-Barbera, that opens up a whole other can of worms and shit.
Oh God, yes.
Thundar is definitely a good one though.
That was one of my favorite shows I used to watch all the time. Post-apocalyptic.
Thundar the Barbarian, and then what was the Herculoids would be cool.
Mm-hmm. With Gleep and Gloop.
Yeah.
You could do Birdman. You could do
No, that's nostalgic.
That's kind of what the question's based off of. It's based off nostalgia.
I guess some people's nostalgia goes back further than others.
Yeah, true.
I mean, my top two picks would be Visionaries and Cops. Yeah.
Really?
There you go.
Visionaries and Cops would be your top two.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I used to love Cops, man. I had the little cap gun things and everything, and scared the shit out of my mom every time you pull one and you hit that pop, you know.
Oh, I know which one would be really cool if they had like a new cartoon that was actually like good. Transformers. That would be a good one. I'm waiting on that one. Something good coming out of there. Anyway, that's all the questions we got.
All right, good. Let's wrap it up. It's like fucking 1:15, man. I'm ready to get out of here. Anybody else got anything in closing?
I just want to say I went through the entire episode and didn't go down a single point.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah, that's right. All right, we made it. Actually, thanks for having me, man. That's been a fun night, a lot of laughs, and even through the Transformer talk, actually, some of these things actually, tickle my fancy a little bit, man. So I appreciate you all having me, and hopefully get to do it in person someday, man. Hopefully, whenever this pandemic ever ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's never gonna end, by the way.
No.
So, it's like the song that never ends.
Yeah.
I hate to bring this up right now, but do we think TFCon is going to happen in October?
I think it's going to happen, but I think we're going to be wearing masks.
I'm fine with that. And I'm perfectly fine with that.
I'm completely fine with that. And if y'all got a problem with it, stay the fuck home, Yep.
I'll be there, but no mask. I'll just be going around kissing everybody, giving hugs.
Yeah. Let's just all walk around and fucking slap our dicks together. Let's go the extra mile. Let's go the extra mile. That's gonna be that'll be the new fist bump. You just fucking smack the heads of your dicks together.
So Carnage, right? Carnage, right?
But you don't do it more than twice. But it's like when you hug a dude, you pat him on the back twice. If you go any more than twice, it gets weird. Like you don't slap your dicks together any more than twice.
I think slapping dicks is weird enough. I mean,
don't be so homophobic, Josh.
It's not about homophobic. It's just I have a small dick.
Slap asses together.
It was an overshare.
All right. Well,
on that note,
I got nothing except thanks for joining us, Josh and Louis. Good times.
Always a pleasure.
Good hanging out with you guys. I will look forward to seeing Jed, you, and Levy, I guess, at the live for the next one, I guess.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. And until then, everyone have a good one. Jed, you got anything?
I got 3 more questions I got to ask.
Christ. You're shitting me, right?
I'm joking, yeah.
All right, good. Enough's enough. We're out.